we were a couple of seconds ago, because man, was that place terrible. And that's only a context that anyone else will only ever understand in this group. Don't ever take me there
Never
again.
ever.
Hooray for being vaguely annoying.
Oh,
Otherwise, hey everybody, it's Friday. And I guess that means we're doing some Convergence. And we left off on a doozy of a head scratcher for at least me, where I spent a lot of the week figuring out what I was doing. And even then, I only settled on something that I kind of thought I knew what I was doing. But in order for anyone to understand what that means, someone should catch us up from last week. Anybody?
well, we had a lot of debate, and everyone was mad at Martel. And then we kind of just went our separate ways. And Hasvard went to chat with Martel and kind of like get on that even ground there. Martel also went to is it the Feywild? Is that where that is? I don't know where that is. Um,
I mean,
and
technically it was a magnificent mansion.
Technically.
oh, is it?
Yeah, technically.
That's the spell.
Ah, that makes sense. A nice chat with the handmaiden where we got some nice more exposition on her. I have fuzzy on a lot of details, but I distinctly remember like getting up the next morning, leaving, Martel giving Lithian a note and telling her to eat it.
And nothing else. Just here's a piece of paper. Please eat it.
No, I remember what's on the note.
Oh, no, I really like to think it's just a note that says "eat me," and I feel like there's maybe a misunderstanding in this communication.
Yeah, that would make sense. But we continued on in our nice awkward groups and have come across apparently a river of lava and an obnoxious amount of elementals.
Way too many to reasonably run in an actual combat encounter.
Yes.
Anybody else have anything else to add? There were a couple of little missing details that people could tack on if they'd like.
Do you mean like the fact that our fantastic assassin people turned into 3 sets of different things? To archers, to bruisers, and to we're going to sneak around and stab things.
Assassins?
Yeah. I don't like that word.
I'm sorry, is that stereotyping?
Yeah. Rude.
Yeah, I mean, that was a thing.
Finished off talking with did you, I don't remember if you said this, if you talked about us being in the meeting and telling them that we haven't decided who our allegiance sides to yet.
That kind of just generally wrapped up in the everyone was mad at Martel, but I guess I didn't specify.
Yeah, the reasoning is semi-important, which yeah, you make a good point, Kyle. Which was, yeah, there was going to be a war room with the Hammer of Amaron to talk about stuff going forward. And when it basically came down to, well, if we end up having a scrap with the Shadeseeker and his acolytes, you know, where are people going to end up? And Martel very plainly stated that she's not swearing allegiances to really anybody until she's, honestly, not in character, but out of character, until there's a better opportunity to see which side's going to win. Which Lhasa politely then asked the party to leave, since there could not be an implicit trust placed in the group. Despite the fact that several of them were very open about if it does come down to it, siding with them. Yep.
Yep.
My phone is about to die. It's fine. I don't need it for anything important. I suppose it'll be the last time I ask this. Anything else? It's perfectly fine if that's a no.
It was a very RP heavy session, so
It was.
not a lot of extra.
Yeah, no, I mean, the only thing I would add is just because we might have new people in our audience. I don't know. Always good to do that. We're currently in a snowy, terrible wasteland. And the two groups we're deciding on is a group of Goliaths who kind of want to be good people and do good things and leave the world a better place, and a group of
The Hammer of Amaron.
called the Hammer of Amaron, and a group of shady, underhanded people who just want to keep all the secrets and not share them with anybody. That's why a lot of people were mad at Martel for not immediately picking a side.
What do you mean you didn't pick the good guys? How dare you? Granted, making the world a better place could just be polite words for saying genocide, That's how Hitler got started.
Definition of making a world a better place. Which again is why Martel doesn't inherently trust the Hammer of Amaron, despite their obvious betterness.
Trust nobody. Okay. Well, I would say that's pretty well and good. In which case, we're gonna go back to the old fort here, where I had many NPC tokens on the battlefield. For those of you that just kind of want to take a gander, there's a lot that they can't see, but you can from this perspective. Close to about 50. Which I thought was a little bit more unreasonable than actual practice could allow when I sat down and got them here last week. So what we're doing is something that is still battle, but is a little bit different. So if you guys have noticed, and I really hope you have because they're kind of hard to miss, down here in the bottom left corner of the screen are 4 gigantic monster tokens. Each appropriately labeled after an element of Primordial you'll be fighting today. Earth, water, fire, and storm. And the idea is they all have a gigantic health pool. And each turn, you're going to select an enemy, a viable target that you can actually affect. So you have to be able to reach them or target them with something that you have in your abilities. So if you are only melee based, you can only ever deal with things that you can physically reach by walking to or moving to and stabbing. So for instance, the Hammer of Amaron, they can basically only right now with their melee weapons strike out at any of the water elementals that are directly near them. Until such a time that maybe more elementals move up and they can acquire more targets versus, for instance, somebody with a large ranged weapon like Lithian with her great bow could potentially target people across the river, striking at the spoilers where the earth and storm elementals are. You guys, as the individual players, will be partaking in mini engagements where when your turn comes up, you basically get to choose to attack or defend. If you choose to attack, you will pick out of one of the 4 enemies, and we're going to just more or less pluck a handful of enemies out from whatever element you've selected. And you're going to make attack rolls as normal based off of whatever you're capable of doing. So for Lithian, for instance, she can make 2 attacks, and she can rage and do all those fancy barbarian things, right? And then we play it out as normal, and then we subtract it from the total health. Narratively speaking, there are so many elementals on the map, which I feel like because now I have this sort of lumped up into a big swarm system, the amount of elemental tokens that are on the field are misrepresentative, and that there's probably far more in front of you than there is actually placed on the field. So if you choose to attack, you basically go as normal. You can attack, defend, or in particular instances, cast a spell or use an ability. In case something doesn't fall underneath necessarily attacking or defending. Defending is a move that allows you to sit and wait, and when an enemy moves into a position to harm one of your allies, you can then trigger a set effect, basically like readying an action, in order to defend them. Because they are on the aggression, they will have a lower AC, and if you harm them, when you attack them, if you or whatever you choose, whatever your action is, whenever it reacts, if it is successful, it will lower the amount of total damage they can perform in that round against any of the other group targets. And for the sake of explanation, the Hammer of Amaron are going to have a group HP. Same for the Acolytes, where everyone else that is separate will continue to work as separate. Is that all, or more or less clear?
Yep.
I tried not to deviate. I tried not to deviate too great from how normal combat works for the sake of this. Otherwise, I just would have used Matthew Colville's war rules, but there wasn't enough people on this side of the field to really warrant that.
So I think, hopefully I didn't miss something, but what about area effects?
Well, that's taken into account. Because the idea is that, for instance, if you're going to cast a fireball, whoever your target is, there are so many targets that their save it affects proportionally. And depending upon the... Go ahead.
Sorry, continue. Well, I was thinking more because of the strategic nature of placing one area of effect where people would be walking through or not. I guess there's no battlefield tactic kind of element.
We can come up to them on a case-by-case basis if there were things like difficult terrain, such as like a big plant growth spell, and what that may do. Because enemies still have to move within range to do things. Like I said,
Okay.
it's not a perfect or pretty system, but we're gonna play a bit of this by ear.
Okay, because I have like huge area of effect things like Black Tentacles, Hunger of Hadar, Erupting Earth, Confusion, that would help route people. And so I was just thinking of tactics in that way.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. Like I said, we'll play it by ear.
Okay.
We'll work through it as we get there. That being said, anybody else have anything else they want to clarify with me?
Yeah. Since Martel is almost entirely a support character, just so I know what I'm doing, is that generally going to fall under defense or attack?
Well,
Like,
so
my
like I said,
example, of course, is like supporting Lithian.
yeah. So like I said, there was option 3, which was cast a spell or use an ability.
I
So yeah,
must have completely missed that.
that's fine. Yeah, if you want to, like in the last couple of fights as an example, if you want to dance with Lithian to give her an extra action on her turn, you can still do that. It counts as option C.
Option C. Got it. Not enough blood going to my ears, I guess.
You're really starting to worry me, Ben. Do you need us to contact someone so you can warn them?
No, I'm good.
Okay, are you sure? Are you sure?
My
Because
parents
you
live
might have
very
enough.
nearby,
Okay.
and my mother is a retired nurse. If things go south, I
Okay.
can contact her.
All right. Just making sure.
Your camera's off. I'm not sure if that's...
Oh yeah, thank you for
Intended.
reminding me. It was not intended. I just forgot. You know, plate spinning. You know how it is some days.
Oh yeah.
And all that reminded me was my hair is just out of control. It's fine. I'll be cutting it all off sometime soon. I'm gonna donate to someone so that someone can get a wig out of it.
Wow. Generous.
You have 8 inches?
I'm working on it. It's my hair is no fine. I'll do this on stream. My hair is very curly. But like, if I were to straighten this out, it is past my shoulder. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'd have to do some actual measurements, but my hair grows pretty quickly. I get like another inch every month. So
That is true. Then you got another 2 months in you, maybe?
yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of cruising by it on it because I'm in no rush to cut my hair. I mean, I've never had long hair before in my life. I feel like I've had this conversation before. I've never had long hair before in my life, due to how I was raised. And now that I've experienced it, I would probably never do it again, but I have the experience now. Because man, it's just a pain to maintain. I don't know how you people with long hair do it. It's just too curly. Like it's the fact that my hair is so darn curly that I can't enjoy it. Just gets everywhere, and I choke on it while I sleep, and it ends up in my food. I hate it. Anyway, I suppose we should begin. Now that everything has been sort of laid out. Well, first of the round belongs to the Acolyte Archers. And they are just going to support immediately up front, so they're going to take an attack against the horde of water elementals that have risen up out of the snow. And they're going to hit with a resounding natural 17. Also, fair warning, don't be afraid whenever you get attacked by a swarm. Numbers are going to be kind of high, but the attacks will be infrequent. Math.
I mean, it's combat. I think we're all going to be worried, but
I mean, you're okay. You're
thank
right.
you for the warning.
It's going to be really high. All right. From atop their rocks, in these shadow spectral blows, they draw back on these strings, forming arrows of pure darkness, and fire off a volley into the horde of water elementals approaching the front line that's been established. Slowing down many, but not killing any right away. The Shade Seeker does nothing. He stands there and watches. Lithian.
Well, I'm gonna unpack my bow and fire at some things far away from me.
Seems like a solid plan.
Yeah. I don't know whatever I can see that's far away. That's not.
Well, so yeah. So the question is, so we're gonna for a brief moment, I'm gonna look past the, because it's a really big map. It's a gigantic freaking. Your dark vision, while great, only takes you so far. You basically have two targets as it stands right now, which are either the water elementals or the fire elementals.
I guess the fire elementals.
Okay.
I would of course like to rage.
Oh, of course.
As you do.
As barbs like to do, yes.
Oh. Forgotten how to play. Hold on. First one is a 29 to hit.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
gonna be a hit.
And the second one is a 22 to hit.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Damage on both. That's a D12, right?
Yes. It's a real big bow.
It's a real big bow. Is 29 points of damage.
Very nice.
That's it. and I'll stay where I'm at.
All right. So Lithian launches 2 powerful arrows up into the sky, arcing down as the fire elementals begin climbing out of this this crack in the earth where the lava is glowing from down below. And you just, for those that have the vantage points to see, they just sail through a couple of these fiery elementals as they are ascending, and they just sort of poof into bursts of fire.
Before we move on, because I just noticed my first roll was a 19, so that was a crit.
Oh, nice. That's good to know. Another 12.
So,
Oh, but also brutal critical, so roll 2 more d12.
yep.
So we're at 41.
Ooh. And plus another 16.
Nice.
Very nice.
57. That's none too small a number. I almost said words.
Yeah. Yeah, that. Okay. That's all.
So adjusting some things on the fly. You see bars suddenly drop. No. Okay. Shadow Assassins. They are going to use an ability to shadow walk. They will step into the shadows of the large rocks before them and reappear someplace that they can see. They're going to reappear. Honestly, a place I don't think we need all the way. And then they're going to try to... Oh, that crit will do. Jira.
What is the... Okay, so she's trying to line up a spell that will affect the most amount of creatures. She's thinking of doing a line because I'm imagining that they are advancing in a line of some sort.
All right. Well, for clarity's sake, the water elementals that are converging on the front line just sort of rose up out of the snow on the far side of the river over here. There are dozens of them.
Okay.
So a matter of striking or finding a solid target mass is not an issue.
Okay. So, she wants to cast Confusion, but she's looking to, like I said, affect the most amount of creatures. So she can either do a 40-foot line or a 20-foot radius circle.
I honestly think they net you roughly about the same.
Okay, she'll do the line. Because what she wants to do is turn the front ones around against the back ones, if possible, causing more confusion.
All right. Wisdom saves.
Yeah, I'll just post the spell, and I'm using 1 sorcery point for the warp spell.
Let me go look. Stat block real fast. Water. Okay, they have no business. They have no bonus to their save. So a 17.
Oh, sorry, you're asking me if that's...
Well, it's a failure.
Save is an 18. Yeah. Save is 18.
All right. So a large segment of the rushing water elementals are now confused.
Okay. And yep, that'll be her turn.
Okay. Do some things I should have done earlier, which is open up a couple of stat blocks. All right. Not overly eager to really get into too much of the thick of this. Snow is going to try to get into a position where she can see. No, it's good enough. And Snow is going to choose to defend and wait for the first of the elementals to clash with an ally, and then she is going to attempt to stave off an attack. The Earth Elementals. I need... The good news is I don't think this really affects anybody except NPC. But to make a point... Well, I guess... Suppose. Yeah. I don't think anybody in this square is not an NPC. Out of the darkness from beyond, there's a rumbling sound. There's a bit of a shaking underneath your feet. And then you all begin to hear what sound like distant whistles. And then just a shower of large rocks begun to plummet down, pummeling the area in which the Acolyte Colossus and the Hammer of Amaron have moved up into. And they need to make a dex save. Actually, we'll make it a strength save. I like a little variety. Spoilers, there's another version of this at the dex save. Okay, got the bad guys. Alright, they're doing fine. Those will be 2 successes, but they're still going to take half damage. Four, 20, 31, 36, 40. 40 points of bludgeoning damage halved. So pretty negligible. Okay. The Colossus are going to attack. They're going to advance, crashing into the first waves of the water elementals. And they are going to make 2 attacks. Just rearing up and slamming down with just these huge overgrown fists. Both attacks will hit. I rolled very well. 12, 20, 26 plus 10. 36 points of bludgeoning damage. As they wade into this living tidal wave and begin slamming fists down onto the elementals. Just some of them sort of just collapsing and splashing, like popping a water balloon outwards. And several of which you can sort of tell don't reform under the assault. Okay, the storm elementals. I'm gonna choose randomly. Six. Oh, perfect. D6. I love it. 2. Okay. Hasvard and now. You feel a brief charge of electricity gather in the air quickly before a bright flash of light blinds you. Make a dexterity save.
I really don't think I'm going to save on this one. Wow. 15.
Really?
Like, my good for everything isn't for saving throws. So
no,
yeah.
it's not. But
yeah, I rolled a 5.
But you're a rogue. You're not supposed
Thanks for reminding me.
You're not supposed to fail these,
I rolled
Kyle.
happily.
All right. Yeah, the bad news is the failure. Now also fails. So you guys are going to take. Oh, this is not going to start well. Oh yeah, this one hurt. 45 points of lightning damage.
I use my reaction.
To do what?
Is it half it? Is that another thing?
Against attack rolls. This was a save. But you still take half because of evasion.
Yeah.
So 45 halved is hang on.
22 or 23?
20. We round down.
22.
So 22.
Yay!
But the hammer takes the full brunt of that. Yeah, as you just, all of you around here witness as briefly, other than the orange fiery glow from the river of lava beyond, there's suddenly just this bright flash of purple energy, and this huge bolt of lightning streaks down and strikes those that have elevated themselves on the rocks, sending just pieces of debris flying in all directions, and Hasvard now kind of scattered off to the side. When this happened, everyone could observe that further beyond, across the way, there was this gathering of purple energy. The hammer. They are going to advance, keeping their line with the Colossus, and they're going to attack a bunch of people. Do very averagely. Good news is, elementals don't have wonderful ACs.
Would Tizira be able to figure out if that is a spell that she could theoretically counter?
I would tell you, even if you could, you are significantly out of range of the casters. Given that you didn't, the casters, if you guess the glow you observed was the firing response, you would be some 200 feet away, which puts you well out of counterspell range.
Okay. She has another spell that she was thinking of using as well that would counter that, so... as long as she knew that it was spells.
Well, so you're fighting elementals and primordials. They don't use magic. They are the natural living elements themselves. All right. Combined, the hammer does 52 points of damage to the water elementals. Oh, perfect. That's a real funny. It's a perfectly flat number for the health. The fire elementals. They are now going to begin moving up, climbing their way out of the river. And they're going to start hurling a barrage of fiery spheres in the direction of the front line. These are just going to be attack rolls. Those are not bad. 10, 16, 18. Oh, double ones. You can see it. 18, 21 points of fire damage to both the Colossus and Hammer. They're resistant. Math. All right. Hasward.
Yay! No one is close enough for me to shoot really with my crossbow. My crossbow's a little dinky.
Yeah, it's a hand crossbow. You could, on the long range, which I think is 90, you can attack the water elementals, and that's it.
And that's at disadvantage, right?
Yes.
And actually, it's 30 and 120, so...
Well, I mean, yeah, the statement still stands.
Yeah.
You could start attacking the fire elementals as well if you were so inclined. So you have 2 targets. You have water and fire.
I'll just go with water. Roll that disadvantage.
Sure. Oh, I forgot.
That is going to be a 16.
That won't hit.
Yeah, didn't think so. In which case, I take the bonus action to hide, and I start moving forward. And I'm down here now.
Okay.
That is my turn.
The water elementals are going to bludgeon the hammer and the colossus. Oh, you hate to see that crit. +12 plus 6, 18 plus 6, 24 plus 32. Because crits sometimes 56. But hang on. Bro. Those are the wrong letter forms. That's a 2. Number forms? Okay. The handmaiden, who is all the way in the back, still just kind of attending to Martel. Going to look at the situation, is just kind of sort of very politely, again, hands clasped inside of her robes, just look over to Martel. Is there anything you would have me do, princess?
Good question. Martel, just says, stop for now. Try and keep as many people alive as you can. Except, and she just kind of looks at her and says, except one of the Hammer of Amaron, please. You choose which one.
Very well. I guess in that case, she is going to... She will cast a spell. She is going to do a wall of force. And create a 100-foot long wall that's going to create a funnel for the elementals to force them directly into a spot to attack the hammer. Seems mildly counterintuitive to what Martel's orders just were, but can't have to keep people alive if they're not in danger yet.
Yeah. Just thinking tactically. It's good.
About 100. Okay. Route out part of the area, but that'll force him to go around back. I suppose she's just gonna cut off a segment of potential flanking. There it is. We're just gonna keep this nice and simple. Extra large, so we can see it. And let's make it bright pink. And because she can, she will inspire you, Martel. Which is done. It's more of a method of when she casts spells, she hums and sings as a method for conjuring her magic. Likewise, she hums one particular chord that generates a small sphere of golden energy that she then pushes into you, and you have a D12 bardic inspiration die.
I will set a D12 aside. Because I don't use them for much of anything.
And after seeing that lightning bolt, she's just gonna move. Martel.
Hey, Martel has not had the chance, I suspect, to teach the handmaiden how to dance with her, given her obvious aversion to being touched. However, I think she probably would have taught Tajira by now. So Martel is going to, well, first she's going to move 10, 15, 20, 30. Oh no, not there. There, so that she can still see Tajira. She's trying to get close enough to get as many people in her aura as she can.
Mm-hmm. Many life forms.
Yes. Most specifically, she's trying to get, some of the Shade Seekers and some of the Hammer of Amaron in there as well.
Mm-hmm. You got it.
Anyways, yeah, so she's going to do that, and she's going to then dance with Tajira doing this, which, to just give the quick rundown, Tajira, your next spell that you cast is double all of its dimensions.
Oh. Okay.
And no offense to you, Tim, I'm really excited to see this when Sarah comes back.
I am too. But, again, she probably would have done this with the handmaiden, but didn't teach her to dance, so... Think on that, Tajira, as you feel like, wow, my spells could be huge. And are there any enemies, doesn't look like it, within 60 feet of Martel?
As a negative Ghost Rider.
Yeah, didn't think so. Are there any within 150 feet? I might as well.
Water and fire.
Well, cool. Let's go for some fire elementals.
Sure.
Martel has to die. It's not going to be by fire. Yeah, I have to roll at disadvantage, so doing that. But I can still throw a chakram surprisingly far. It's a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yay! Huge damage. Here we go. A whopping 8 damage.
Boom.
Chakram hits a fire elemental right on his pinky toe.
Mm-hmm.
At least you can hit.
Well, fair enough. And that'll be Martel's turn.
All right. Alrighty.
So yeah, I kind of took the spell action.
We're back to the Shade Archers. They're going to keep doing their thing. They're going to just attack what is closest. Well, actually, no, that's not true. They saw some nastiness come raining down from beyond. They're going to attack some of the storm elementals off in the distance. They're going to draw their strings back, generating just these huge wispy missiles of shadow, and then fire them off into the distance, out of most people's reasonable sight. And almost completely eat it, and only hit with one attack. They rolled a 3 and a 9.
And I'm just gonna ask you, out of context, can Tajira please, memorize the point that they attack? Make specific note.
Well, I mean, you can do your best, but their arrows vanish out of everyone's line of sight after 100 feet or so, because it's just it's dark.
So, because on my turn, I was going to ask if I could estimate where they were exactly shooting.
I mean, yeah, on your turn, you can make a check.
Okay, thanks.
I'm gonna have to reroll those dice. Oh, those are good numbers. I probably rolled better. 15, 17 plus 8, 25. So the storm elementals take 25 points of damage. As another volley of shadowy missiles rain down from above. The Shadeseeker continues to stand there with the young girl at his side, just kind of observing, tilting his head as he's watching the chaos unfold, and still continues to do nothing. Lithian.
Well, all I can do is the same thing, so gonna do the same thing.
All right.
First one, I'm going to use my bonus action to fire a javelin instead of a spear, or instead of an arrow.
What is your target? Fire or water?
Fire again. Let's go with that.
Okay.
23 to hit.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'll roll this separately. 24 points of damage on the first hit.
Very nice.
And then the second is a 21 to hit.
Also a hit.
Okay. That's just normal. Ooh. 11 points of damage.
Not as impressive, but still give me a round number, so I can't complain. Weirdly satisfying when that happens.
And I mean, she doesn't see a point yet to moving. She's hitting things, so.
Yes, barbarians with ranged weapons. Why even go into the fight?
That'll be it then.
I mean, I guess the worst case is they burn your hair off. Oh wait.
Oof.
Wow. All right.
Just giving you rage. I'm just giving you rage
then?
fuel. It's fine.
We do this right now.
Who's hurt? Don't do that, CJ.
Moving on.
Remember that we're friends.
Hey, I care about Lithium.
Just not her hair.
Ben's words, not mine. But yeah, fair. Shade Assassins are going to do the same thing as before, which is hop between shadows and then continue to hide. Hijira.
Okay. So I'm depending a lot on what she sees. How many, like, it's really hard because she wants to affect the largest amount of people.
Again, I couldn't possibly do this with tokens to represent it well enough.
I know.
Imagine you were staring down hundreds of elementals off in the distance.
Okay.
You are not missing when you cast the spell.
Okay. So what she's going to do then is she'll drop concentration on confusion. And she's going to create a line that's 80 feet long to basically make a break point so they can't cross it or they have to cross it. So I'm casting black tentacles in an 80-foot line in front of us to basically stop them from advancing on us.
Okay. Then draw your line. Just make sure it's on the other side of it doesn't intersect with the pink line. Because Wall of Force doesn't allow spells to be cast through.
Sorry, where's the pink line? So it has to be back here?
Yeah, like I said, it can't cross over it, so.
I don't see a pink line.
Does anyone see a pink line? Did I put it on the wrong layer?
He probably doesn't have sightline on it.
Oh, true. You just might not have vision on it, which is far more likely. There's a big pink line.
Looking at where Tajira is, I really think it's blocked by the pillar.
Yeah, I mean, the trick is you can also only cast spells where you can see anyway.
Right.
So you have to make sure that wherever you're casting the starting point of this, you can cast it 80 feet in a direction, but the starting point you have to be able to visibly see.
Okay, so she's basically objectives to like stop them from advancing on the back line back here. So, like, the best would probably be like that. Is that behind the pink line?
Yes.
Okay. So right there, line a spell of black tentacles, which I'll post in chat. And that'll be your turn.
Okay. And I'm actually going to heal the Colossus and the Hammer a little bit, because I did forget the roll in the confusion table, and several of the chunk of the elementals would have reduced a portion of their damage, so I'm going to give them some of their HP back.
Thanks.
Yeah, when you're spinning like 3 dozen plates, it's easy to forget something occasionally.
Oh, I understand.
Okay. Big mass of just a big, scary, dark line appears in front of most people, with the exception of, funnily enough, all of the Shadeseeker and his acolytes, who can see exactly what's going on inside there. They're kind of just at it home. And I completely forgot Snow's action for her defense as well. We're just gonna hurt people instead this time. We're gonna hurt people once this time. We're not gonna hurt people all. Just to let them know we're serious.
Yay, me and you, Snow. Tiny damage.
She's the martial class. Okay, the Earth Elementals. Well, let's they sense most of the movement on the battlefield still occurring at one central point, so again, another hail of rocks are just going to bombard the area, striking the Hammer and the 2 Colossus. Those are 2 really bad saves. Oh, 13, 19, 27. 27 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, hang on. Ooh, I accidentally subtracted 100 more life points than I needed to. That would have been a bad idea. Hit points?
Please don't do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, don't want to do that. Another hail of rock and debris comes sailing down out of the sky, just absolutely bombarding the area where the defensive line has been made. Several rocks you can observe as they sort of pelt into the side of the wall of force, and even occasional one landing into the dark line of black tentacles where it just sort of lands in there and then doesn't come back out the other side. Colossus, just gonna keep smashing water elementals. Gonna try to pop them like water balloons. Only one is going to hit. Oh, was a natural 1. They hate fun. But I rolled really well in the damage. 7 plus 8 is 15. 22. Okay, the Storm Elementals. A gathering dull purple glow will emanate from multiple spots on the other side. And there will be a bright flash of light that comes racing down. This one is going to come down. I need the Acolyte, the Archer Acolyte, Handmaiden, and Martel to make dexterity saves.
Dexterity save.
And I'm just gonna use the dice.
19.
Success. We'll take
Yay.
half of 37, which is
No. that's
18? 18.
18, yeah.
Handmaiden. Going to add one of those. Okay, she'll succeed now. Also, only take 18. Seriously, basic math some days is just the worst.
Yeah, it's
Acolyte is going to take the full brunt of it. All 37 points. The first time they've taken damage. Okay. The hammer's turn. They're gonna keep just wailing away on what's directly in front of them. Ooh, there's a crit in there. Which is good, because a lot of other people just did terribly. Okay. So we're going to start with a base of 24. Nice, I rolled a bunch of 8s. 32, 40, 45, 49. Plus 10, 59. Yeah, that seems about right. They're holding their own, and you're just watching as they are just battering away water elementals by the handful, just cascading water, just flying back into the snow with each mighty blow of their weapons. They seem to be holding their own pretty fine. Fire elementals. We're now getting into the thick of it, but with the water elementals where they are, they're actually kind of keeping their distance. It seems as if water and fire doesn't mix. Who'd have thunk it?
Crazy.
I know, right? It's just outrageous. If anyone ever watched that episode with Charmander in the earlier episodes of the Pokemon anime, we all know why fire and water.
oh,
Very cute.
poor Charmander.
Rip Charmander.
That was so sad.
Almost Rip Charmander.
Almost
And then he
ripped
became
Charmander.
the most angry Charmander boy of all time.
Yeah, he did.
That's what happens with abandonment issues.
Yes. And other times, just crippling anxiety, and there's no in between. Okay, so another slew of fireball attacks, raining out. Not great damage. 5, 7, 10, 15 plus 6, 21. The hammer is resistant to this. These attacks are mostly just kind of nuisances to them. The Colossus, on the other hand, are not as fortunate. There's another perfectly round number again. So satisfying. Hezor.
I'm going to shoot my stupid little crossbow.
Oh, you just sound so enthused. I hate to. Actually, no, you're fine. You're actually fine. I forgot.
No, it's at disadvantage.
Well, yeah. That wasn't what I was talking about, but yes, it is.
Yeah.
Unless you want to move forward first. But I was going to comment on the fact that you actually can't see, but actually the only person who can see through that line is you. So never mind.
Cool.
Because there's a black tentacle line of creepy darkness in front of you, which is magical darkness. So it's one of those. Normally, you couldn't see anything to attack, but because you are you can see through it.
Yay! Doesn't mean I can hit anything.
This, I think you may be confusing spells. This doesn't create magical darkness, I don't think.
Oh, you know what? I do that frequently, along with the other tentacle-y spell.
Yeah, you're thinking Hunger Vidar, I believe.
Probably. I confuse them all the time. And you're right, I am thinking wrong.
I missed to take the bonus action to hide.
Okay.
I got a 34 for my stealth.
Yeah, no one's gonna notice you.
Yeah, and then I can't move through the black gunk that was put in front of me. So 5, 10.
Oh, you can. You just have to make a dex save to try to move through it.
Oh.
I mean, you
don't
wouldn't.
trust myself.
You're not likely to fail that, right?
I'm hiding over behind this rock now.
Okay.
Great. Good story, guys.
Asgard's just darting between rocks, shooting crossbow bolts. Pew.
At nothing.
No, they're at things, but it's like you're watching a crossbow bolt. It's like throwing a rock into a tidal wave at the beach. Like it hits the wave, but it's a tidal wave. It just eats it. That's kind of what you're experiencing. It's a little discouraging. Up. Oh, grab one of the wrong ones. Oh, stop it. Oh, go back with your friends. Fiery boys are not your friends. Water elementals are going to smack people around. And succeed partially. 10, 15, 18. That's 8, 26. There it is. I'm doing it, Ma. Okay. The handmaiden. She's going to advance past these rocks here. Get up a little bit closer into the action. Get a little better line of sight. And is going to... What does she... He's concentrating on Wall of Force. What does she do? All right. She will again begin humming another harmonious chord. Raise a hand into the air. And there will be a section of water elementals that begin to vibrate violently. And there's a moment where just several of them just begin to pop. She casts a spell on them. Spoilers, Primordials don't have great int scores. $12, 16, 19, 20, 3, 8. And if elementals could experience pain, they have the worst brain freeze right now. It's a joke. It's just like... I'm actually just gonna... I am so inept at basic maths right now.
Math is overrated. It's okay.
Well, I mean, it's allowed tabletop RPGs to become a thing, so I'm kind of okay with it. I'm just, some days my brain is not as snappy as others, you know? Martel.
Martel is going to... everybody more or less still in the mist?
The Hammer, the Colossus, the Archers, the Shadeseeker, and his compatriot, Tajira, Lithian, Snow, Handmaiden.
Yay.
Asgard. Basically everybody but the Assassins. And a bunch of just a horde of water elementals.
Wow.
Which I guess
elementals I'm not too concerned about being in my mist. Then Martel is going to do Let me make sure I have the right one. Yeah. An old favorite. Start dancing with Lithian. Give Lithian an extra action.
Oldie but a goodie. All right.
Mark
Not
these
going to
down.
move or any shenanigans like that?
Sorry, I got caught up in marking stuff down. Martel will move. Here. And if there's an elemental within 60 or 120 feet, throw a shock rom. Because you never know.
Water elementals are within 60 feet. Water and fire are within 100.
Nah, she's still rather take on the fire.
Okay.
Go.
You just.
Although that's probably a miss. 14.
Yeah, that is a miss.
All right. Then yeah, just throws shock rom. Underestimates her or overestimates her ability to aim. That's the end of her turn.
All right. The Acolyte archers fire off another volley, but this time they aim closer to home, targeting the water elementals, hoping to thin them out so they can start advancing forward. Both will hit, dealing 29 points of damage. Shade Seeker. I guess he probably will do something. All right. The Shade Seeker puts his hand on the shoulder of the young girl that he's with, and she raises her right hand, this pale, thin, gaunt hand, and you watch as her hair begins to slowly float up off of her shoulders. And there is a trembling that rumbles through the ground all underneath you, rippling outwards in waves towards the elementals, until observably a long line, roughly about 100 feet long, of where the fire elementals are climbing up out of this fissure, is suddenly, it's very obvious the fire elementals are flowing up and over, where they are suddenly all crushed back down by an unseen invisible force. As a gravity fissure just decimates several of them. They have to make a con save. They're supposed to be good at those, but they did not succeed. And I'm going to use a dice roller for this because it's a big number. Oh, that was terrible. That's not impressive at all.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Bad girl, I'll punish you later. That came out weird.
Oh, man. Yeah.
No, he's actually an evil, vindictive jerk. He's actually going to harm this child later. That still came out wrong. You know what? I'm just going to stop talking. Lithian, please do something.
Oh boy, she's gonna do the thing that she can do as a barbarian, which is shoot arrows.
That sentence sounds incredibly wrong, but it is what's happening.
For the first one, I'm gonna bonus action use a javelin. Targeting the fire elementals again. First one is a 22 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna roll damage separately for this one. Ooh! I rolled a 12 plus 8, 20 plus 4, 24 points of damage.
Nice. There's that round number again.
Yeah, okay. And then just arrows.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, 19?
Hit.
Okay, second one. 19 again? Alright. Cool. Last one. 28, I think that one hits.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There you go. $31. Wait. 31. Yeah, 55 points of damage on that. For all three of those.
Nice.
Did you take your extra action?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, I definitely can't take 4 arrow shots on a one turn regularly.
You sure?
Apologies, I was only half paying attention. I have other things on my mind at the moment.
Does it have
All
to
right.
do with any more unnecessary bleeding?
It started hurting,
Well,
which is a good sign. That means it's starting to scab.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
Apologies. I won't bring
I'm
it up.
sorry. No.
I was concerned.
I'm sorry that I am concerned for you. That's why I don't like it. Anyway, I'm gonna stay where I'm at unless there seems to be a more strategic point that I could be at, but I cannot see the map, so I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's unfortunate.
It's not. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not you. I can see like the bottom 2 rows of it, but it's such a big map, and with my trackpad, I literally just can't see it unless I'm zoomed all the way out.
Mhm.
In which case, I can only see it half the time too. So.
Yeah, Roll20 does a weird thing where like it can't focus well. It'll just like black out everything.
Yeah. So.
Okay. All right.
I'm good where I'm at unless there seems to be a more strategic point to be at.
I mean, you're hurting things fine where you are, so I mean, no complaints.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah. The shadowy assassin boys, who have been nothing but teleporting this whole time, are funnily within range of enemies to attack. And being stealthy boys like they are, they're going to sneak up, and they're going to do some stabbies. They're just going to have this really cool off-screen battle that no one can see. Who'd have thunk? They hit. This is also a dice roll. Is borrowing from rogues. They do things like sneak attack. So we're just gonna roll 8 of these. Wow, what are the odds? 23 both times. Well, that makes the addition easy. 46. 8. 54. 54 points of damage to the storm. They don't suddenly like that coming up. Dijira.
Okay, she's aiming for another mass of people. Can she see a group of earth elementals?
I'm gonna go with no. There's no light over yonder. The answer is no.
Okay, so she can just see groups of water then.
Water and fire.
Okay. So she is going to find the biggest amount of them and try in the middle of them, probably not like just in the middle of them, so she's not affecting the people who are attacking them. Do an erupting earth.
Sure thing.
With a 20-foot radius. I'm gonna spend a warp spell point for that.
Those are some bad saves.
Let me try. I'm just gonna use the dice roller. No, I'm not. I don't trust it.
Well, it is a rousing failure.
Good.
How much do you blow them up?
I'm just trying to find my D12, which is missing for some reason. Okay, well, I'm guessing. Using
Weirdly shaped
the
D20.
roller. 12. Rousing 9 on damage.
Boom. All right. Well, the water elementals will take 9 points of damage.
And that's her turn.
Okay. I just have to say, Erupting Earth is one of those spells that, like, feels really good when you roll high, but it feels really bad when you roll low.
Right.
Like I had an NPC that used it. It was supposed to be dark and mysterious, and they didn't know his abilities. He whips out a Erupting Earth to call a large group, and I roll like a 1, a 1, and a 2. And it was like, woohoo. And then later, when the PCs got higher level, one of them used Erupting Earth and rolled like an 11, an 11, and a 9. You know, it just decimated a whole group of enemies in a combat. It was like, wow. It's great.
And I wish I had that.
Yeah, I know. They're only level 5. Snow is just going to shoot arrows because, well, you know, at the end of the day, do that. But wow, did she suck and miss both times? Earth elementals are going to launch another volley of rocks. But this time, since people have been moving up slowly, Hasvard and the Handmaiden are now included in the area of effect. I need you both of them to make strength saving throws.
Who can do it?
The Handmaiden actually succeeds. The Colossus and the Hammer succeed by the virtue of being super freaking strong. Otherwise, their dice rolls. Hasvard, my boy.
Hasvard. Yeah.
I require a strength save from you.
I don't think I'm gonna do it. I really don't think I'm gonna. I'm gonna spend my 2 points. I'm just gonna spend my 2 points.
You're just gonna automatically succeed?
Yeah, because I roll bad, and I just don't want to fail again. So I'm just gonna take the loss of my inspo points.
You can make that choice after you've rolled.
I did make that choice after I rolled.
All right. You just kept saying, "I don't think I'll make it," and I was like, "Well, roll."
Well, like I don't get to know if I make it when I tell him the number, so I just looked at the number, was like, no.
We
Okay.
have not found the low end of a success yet.
Well, the good news is, well, given your point expenditure, and everyone else rolls well enough, everyone will take half of that damage, which is 16 points of bludgeoning damage. As rocks fall from the sky.
Why did none of these count as attacks? Dang it.
Well, because the AoE bombardment is a strength save, the lightning bolt is a dex save. And the things that are doing attack rolls are the ones that are attacking the people in the front line.
Valid. So that was. Did you say another 20?
I said 16.
16. I'm deaf.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not.
Okay. The Colossus are going to keep just stepping on elementals and swinging their big meaty fists. And one of them is going to completely suck at it, while the other one's just going to be passable enough. Uh, 18 plus 8. Hang on, 18 plus 10. 28. That's math, right? The number of water elementals has drastically been reduced, well past half. They seem to be mindlessly just attacking, despite the fact that their numbers are being decimated at this point. And the flow of fire elementals rising up out of the lava river have also seemed to have slowed.
Nice.
Storm elementals. I'm gonna flip a coin this time. Heads is the handmaiden and no one else. And tails, it's Tajira and Lithian.
Oh.
Heads. The handmaiden is subject to another lightning bolt as a bright flash of white energy streaks through the air, and she attempts to dive out of the way. And is going to just barely succeed with a little help.
One of the few people trying to actively avoid that.
Yeah, it's like there's a reason why the storm elementals target particular enemies.
Yeah.
Okay, roll pretty average damage though. 16, 20 points of reduced to half. The Hammer of Amaral. They're gonna just keep swing. They're gonna keep swinging away, Meryl. If you'll allow me that. Ooh, that's a crit and 3 hits. They about to drop the hammer.
Ooh, pun intended.
Yes. So 14 plus 24, 38. Yep, that's how math works. 42, 53, 54, 11, 65, and the last one 68, plus 10, 78. And the hammer begins to start making work and gaining ground on the water elementals.
Work, Hammer of Amaron.
Started advancing. I think they're purposely fighting closer and closer to the edge of the river of lava. And the fire elementals don't like that, so they're going to actually focus all of their attention onto them. And they were going to hit them with some fireballs. If only they'd learned that the hammer don't give a no damn about fire. 6, 11, 16, 20... plus 6, 26, reduced to half, 13. They literally charge into this wave of fireballs being thrown at them from these fire elementals, trying to work their way up out of the crack in the earth in front of them, and they just bounce off of the plates of the armor as they charge in weapons swing. Asvar. What's the play, my boy?
Oh, sorry, I was saying things, but I was muted. I'm just gonna keep shooting.
Yeah.
Hey, if it wasn't disadvantage, it'd be a crit, but 26.
Hey, that'll do it.
I know, and I get sneak attack finally.
Technically, no, you don't.
Oh.
Because you're shooting at disadvantage.
Even though I'm hidden?
Yeah. Sneak attack has, amongst the several addendums, it's if you ever roll a disadvantage, you don't get sneak attack on the attack. I don't want to be the guy that rains on your parade, but that's unfortunately the way it works.
Disappointing.
Can you now shoot Tajira, please? I'll give you sneak attack on that. I don't think Tajira will see it coming. Matter of fact, I'll make it an automatic crit if you turn on the Tajira.
No, that's 9. That's 9 points of damage then.
Okay. I tried. Cosmic justice will come find Tajira eventually.
I love the idea of a world where hurting your friend so much more is an actual enticement. I'd love the world where Kyle's just so desperate to do damage. He's like, yeah, whoever takes the damage.
There's always a price.
Reputation's on the line. And there's also...
I guess I gotta start moving forward, otherwise I'm literally gonna do nothing, so... I guess I'm gonna do nothing and hide.
All right.
22, and then I guess move. I don't want to move through the thing because I'm rolling like crap. I like.
I mean, you could have, I guess, instead of hiding, you could have dashed around it this turn. The water elementals are thinning and the line hasn't broken. I doubt they would have just suddenly veered onto the tiny little halfling in the back. But
Unfortunately, I didn't think of that. So we'll just go 5. Roll for the dex save.
yeah, what could go wrong?
So much. Exactly that. I'm gonna use my last point that because we didn't
Re-roll
sleep
it?
since, yeah.
Okay. DC's an 18.
Well, it's a 19. I got a 19 now.
Okay, you're fine.
I rolled a 1 originally, just to let you know.
Oh.
10,
Yeah, that's
15,
unfortunate.
20, 25. Sure, yeah, I'll hang out here.
Yeah, well, in your defense, rogues that use daggers and hand crossbows aren't exactly good at sieging. Maybe should have hitched a ride with the Shadow Assassin boys to go to the other side. That might have maybe worked out better.
Yeah, but that was
But you really
an
don't.
option.
But you also don't like them, so.
Yeah.
The water elementals are gonna smacky and suck this turn. Wow, well, no, natural ones. Do nothing. They're gonna do nothing. The handmaiden does not like all the attention she's been receiving. She is going to actually just spend this turn healing herself. Very average. 17. Martel.
Martel, similar to others, needs to get a bit closer to be effective. This purple line, is that the black tentacles?
Yes, it is.
So it's like a 40-foot square?
It's an 80-foot line.
It's an 80-foot line. Yeah.
Oh, an 80-foot line. Sorry, I don't remember how it works. Okay, then Martel.
Well, in your defense, that's not how it normally works. It's just how Tajiro's work.
Oh, okay. Martel will cross that line. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Nah, she'll dash this turn. Although I suppose I should roll my dex save before I
You should. Yeah, you might not get that far. I guess make a
get
dex save.
that far. Just couldn't imagine a world where I failed.
Please don't.
Well, I mean, does a 22 succeed?
Yeah, you're
Yes.
Then I didn't. Yeah, Martel will get there. Now that I can see the battlefield a little better, she will once again throw a chakram, once again at fire elementals,
Sure thing.
which are within range now,
Yeah, plenty to target.
right? All right. Let's just move these so I don't have to twist. Oh, that's a nat 20.
Oh, nice.
Man, they won't even know what hit them.
Bring the pain.
Bring the pain. That's 11 damage. They were like, oh, these paper cuts, what do we care? And then this one was like, a cardboard cut, and they're like, oh man.
Yeah, this one fire
That's a
elemental
little more painful.
out of particular was coming out of the river, the edge there, and going, yeah, this is gonna be easy. And he just takes the chakram straight in the face, and he just puffs. He doesn't exist anymore.
Yes. That'll be my turn.
All right. The archers gonna keep doing their thing and assailing from a long distance. Both of those will just hit. 9, 12, 13. Oh, I rolled super bad this turn. It's 8, 20. 20 more points to the water elementals, which are just barely keeping it together. They are so few in number now. Only a couple handful of them. Shadeseeker. Is going to enter into a shadow cast by one of these rocks with the girl and reappear here. And then he is going to do the same thing as before, hand still resting on the shoulder of the girl, and just sort of politely head nod off into the distance where there are a series of purple glows beginning to charge up again. And just like before, the girl will raise a finger with this one gaunt hand, and a terrible vibration will shake through the earth. And somewhere off in the distance, it sounds like there is an avalanche occurring. Somewhere beyond past the river. A very large shape. Really wish when you drew shapes you had a measurement on what size it was.
That'd be really handful.
Yeah, wouldn't
Handy.
it?
Useful.
Handful? It would be very handful.
I put handy and useful together.
That's a handful, all right. Oh wow, I actually got the exact dimensions correct on the first go. Go me.
Well, look, you don't even need it.
It would have been very handful though. Okay, that's a big one, all right. We're gonna just settle with that. All right, Lithian. Still plenty of fire elementals to shoot up.
Sorry, I was taking a picture of my dog falling asleep sitting up. Yes, gonna shoot at some fire elementals.
Yeah, that's a good use of your time though, so I understand.
Thank you for understanding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bonus action load a javelin for the first one. And that's a 21 to hit.
Oh yeah. You guys have almost figured out their AC.
I know 19 hits, so
Mm-hmm. It's really close to
guessing. Yeah.
that.
And plus 16 plus 20 points of damage on the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, and the second one's a nat 20. Let's go.
Ooh.
Nice.
All right.
Or fire.
So, base 12. Then my brutal critical. Where's my another d12? There you are. I think one more level and I get another die.
I can check on that while you're rolling.
That's a good roll. 21. 39.
Ooh.
Plus 47 points of damage.
Nice. And for your information, you should have 2 brutal critical die currently, and you get a third one at 17.
17. Okay, yeah. I am definitely using 2. Don't worry.
Okay. 47. Big chunky number. The fire elementals are also appearing to be quite diminished, so similarly as to the water elementals at this point.
If that's like the far of my range, then seeing that they are like diminishing, I will move forward.
All right. What's your speed?
That's a
40 feet?
good
45 feet? Somewhere in there.
It'd be 40.
40.
We can get you right up to the gooey black line.
Cool. Sounds good.
Um,
The infamous dude.
Yeah. And from this handy dandy new location, you still can't see. Just the same targets. Big old dark. Okay. Was just to double check, was Lithian still was Martel still dancing with Lithian?
No, the dance would have ended.
Okay. Just making sure. My assassin boys.
She can only do it for one round without expending another tempo point.
Gotcha. Huh, those are both low, but they're still gonna. One of them, I guess, is gonna hit at the very least. Base roller. O's. Oh, yep, still pretty average. 26 points of damage to the storm elementals. Basic math. Dejira.
She's going to advance. That is the wrong tool. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, she can't see any enemies here, right? Like,
Just water. Yeah, none that are there. They have not broken past the line. There are no enemies past this point.
okay. She'll drop the
Big line.
tentacles then. Yeah. And can she see a group to do erupting earth on?
Yeah. The numbers are thinning, but it's no less effective. So water or fire, take your choice.
We'll do fire.
Okay. Make a dex save. And that's garbage, that's a fail.
Yay, maybe my damage won't be garbage.
Come on, higher than a 12.
Oh,
all right.
Okay,
That's
there
better.
we go.
That's
That's better.
A large section of the river's canyon just sort of erupts and rains rocks and showers down upon a bunch of elementals, stopping their advance up the cliff and their mindless ascent to join the battle.
Cool. That's your turn.
Okay. Snow has no intention of getting any closer, and it's apparently reflecting in the archery. Only one attack hits. Just gonna pick off a water elemental with a well-placed arrow. Earth elementals. Another shower of rocks, except this time, due to all of the movement, Tajira, Lithian, Hasvard, Martel, the Hammer, and the Colossus all need to make strength saving throws.
Woohoo. What a claw? Oh, Earth. That's why.
Yep. Big ol' AoE.
19.
Can
Success.
I just like walk away from combat? Is that allowed? Can I just leave?
You could technically go walk back several hundred yards and not participate. Yes,
6.
that is unfortunate.
Ouch. I got 13.
I literally can't roll.
Also unfortunate.
I got a 26.
All right, so a success. The Hammer, by the virtue of being Goliath fighters, have done fine. So of the Colossus, they rolled a natural 20. Good for them. Actually, the Shadeseeker's involved in this. He doesn't like the number. He's going to choose to reroll it. A little better. He will succeed. But just here. And then we roll more of these. If you failed, you take 35 points of bludgeoning damage. If you succeeded, you'll take 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
Does that mean I take 8?
Yes, because you're raging.
Okay.
Barbarians. Okay. That's the Earth Elementals. We're just enjoying the time. Actually, the Earth Elementals, I just realized, this wouldn't change anything, but they have to make a save. Because they're having a bad time that no one can see right now, but they're having it. Ooh, they suck. That was a 7. Here, if this is any consolation to you, Kyle, they're about to take 8d10 damage. Wow, I forgot how chunky they were. Colossus do the smack. One Colossus crits. Nice. 18 plus 6, 22 plus 8, 30. These water elementals are severely reduced. There were barely any noticeable ones left on the field at this particular point. Storm elementals also make a con save at the start of the turn, and they also suck at life. It's funny how that works. I've already rolled that, so they're also going to take 40 points of damage. I need Lithian and Tajiro to make dexterity saves. There's a bright flash of light as a streak of lightning comes sailing down.
No, I'm not.
I'm gonna use my inspiration and succeed.
Okay. Lithian?
Modified 20.
Success. I heard a lot of grumbling. I didn't actually know if there was any if there was a result on the other side of that.
The grumbling was, well, shit, I don't have a +9 on this one.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, 10, 19. Wow, I rolled very sad. 24 points of lightning damage. If you succeeded, you will take 12. As another flash of light and a bolt of lightning rockets down, centered on Tajira, rippling outwards in these just crackling shockwaves of energy. Hammer of Amaron is going to smack some water elementals around, and they're going to feel pretty good about it. Except when they, just don't like rolling very high. You hate to see it. 7, 14, 2, 16, 24. I really wanted to. I was really hoping they'd kill them this turn. But there are pretty much no water elementals left to speak of. I'm just going to start calling some of these tokens to push that. Control Z.
Oh no, one of our big boys.
Oh no, I murdered him. He's fine.
Yay!
He was there all along. Fire elementals.
He was next to the elemental though.
It's kind of a rough.
Yeah, it's a little loosey
This
goosey
is
as
what
it
the
is.
battle actually looks like.
I know, there's like a whole bunch of people like lining
Yeah, I could have
up
actually
over
done
here.
this without the map at all. The map actually, I think, overcomplicates things.
Yeah, that's true.
All
Yeah,
right.
but you put so much work into this beautiful map.
Yeah,
and I'm
I know.
glad
I
get
really
see
wanted
it.
to use it. I really still should have figured out a better way to run this. Oh wow,
And it
these
made
fire
it so that I
elementals
was
did
at
nothing.
disadvantage.
I think you're doing fine.
Like, I see what you're doing, Ben, but I don't know if I can completely agree with you. Hasvard's not dying. That's what he's doing. He's if that's net positive, then yeah, he's doing great.
Thanks.
But I'm agreeing with your observation, Kyle. You've had pretty rotten luck on your dice rolls tonight. I'm not trying to rub it in. I'm just agreeing with you.
I know. I'm just a little salty that I can't roll above a 10.
Well, let's see if you can change your luck. It's your turn.
Hey, well, guess what I'm going to start with? I'm going to move within 30 feet of one of the water boys. Yeah!
You
I don't
did
have
it!
Disadvantage.
No, you can hurt a water boy. And there's technically going to be an ally within range, because you've got Biggins and the hammer, and they're all up in their space.
21!
That hits!
Yay!
You get sneak attack!
Oh, that's the first sneak attack of the night. It feels so good. All right, so 5, 10, 20, 23, 26, 27, 31.
Wow. All right, Hasvard. I'm going to ask you to take a couple of liberties, because, again, there were still like a handful of water elementals. It wasn't just like one elemental standing there alone on the battlefield. You guys are fighting like in a war, like battlefield kind of narrative, right? It's very big. There are lots of targets. It's just constant carnage. But you managed to break the remainder of the water elementals. So what does Hasvard do?
He sees this really convenient like line of the last of them that are just charging either like in this direction or this direction, and he takes his like pot shot after stumbling forward, sliding a little bit and getting low with his hand crossbow, and just pierces through like however many of them.
All right. The bolt flies true, ringing through the center of several of them, and something about the resonance it just hit. It just blew through several of these elementals, destroying them on the spot. And in those last few moments between the Colossus and the hammer swinging weapons and crashing them down, there are no more water elementals left on the field.
Bonus action hide down on the ground near the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a coward. 25.
That's pretty good.
Because I'm trying to waste all my low rolls on my sneak.
Mm-hmm. I see. Yeah. Your dice only has so many rolls in it, right? So once you get rid of all the low numbers, you're fine. You can only roll high.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got you. The handmaiden doesn't really know what to do yet. She's going to emerge from behind this rock, a little closer to Martell, look around, kind of observe the fact that the hammer has sustained some damage, and is going to spend her turn. And it's going to cast Heal. It's just going to give him a big old chunky 70 hit points. And just call it. Breathing heavily and carrying the weight of their armor and their weapons, some of them stand a little bit higher after this wave of magic. And that's that. Martell.
Okay. Are there fire elementals within 30 feet of Martell?
Great question. Short answer is yes.
Okay. Because I'm gonna call it a defense action because given how combat's working, I wouldn't really know how this would affect things, which I think you'll understand in a moment. As Martell does this, which is essentially the same as a Bane spell, but it can only affect a small amount of the fire elementals. So I wasn't sure how you wanted to pull that out. So I'm just calling it a defense action.
Yeah.
And have it be something that's defensive for a while.
I'll just subtract the d4 from the d20 rolls when necessary.
Okay, well, thank you. But that's what she's going to be doing for a little while, because she's got to concentrate on that bad boy. Takes a lot of hardcore dancing.
Yeah, and I really like to imagine the fact that these primordials have proven to be very brainless, and the hammer is just like, these huge Goliaths covered in like just shiny rune-covered plate mail with these huge weapons, and they're just fighting, and just it's just this huge chaotic brawl. And there's just Martel just like that comes like pirouetting through all of the carnage, going yoo-hoo, trying to get the elementals' attention. And some of them just kind of stop and go.
Just like, oh.
Yeah. If they had brains, they grew them for like half a second to be distracted. What a weird world.
But that's the end. Her what she can do.
All right. Archer boys are still just doing their thing. They're gonna fire a bunch of things. Do pretty well. 15, 20, 31 plus 8, 39. Fire elementals are continuing to be peppered with arrows, now taking advantage of the current numbers and just kind of pushing down lines of what's directly in front of the front line themselves. The Shadeseeker is just going to step into a pocket of shadow, and then kind of eerily pop up directly next to you, Hasvard, with the girl at his side. He'll turn, and the perfectly black face will just split into that creepy smile as he looks at you and just kind of gives you an acknowledgement, and then stares back at the battle going on in front of you.
From my position near the ground, I smile back at him and I nod. And then I look at the girl and I look at him and I'm like, huh. And I get back to the combat.
Yeah. The girl's hand is still raised and off into the distance. She just is like like a 1,000-yard stare off into the distance. Livian. Shooty more fire elementals?
If that's all I can see, then yes.
Unfortunately, yes.
All right.
I think even if you were to move forward, actually could, if you move forward first, you could start seeing other targets.
Okay.
Not that you would know.
Let's move forward anyway. Things are still thinning out. So
Yeah,
that was
like-
the plan.
Yeah, like the water elementals are pretty much just all gone.
I
Like
forget
it's
that I can move before hitting things.
yeah.
sometimes.
That's fair. At this particular juncture, with your superior dark vision, other than the middling numbers of the fire elementals that are remaining, you can see now across the fiery river of lava, in the remains of what look like an abandoned fortress, you can see just these large hulking mounds of stone and metal that are gathering rubble and preparing to throw them.
I will shoot at those.
Okay. Earth elementals, shoot for it.
First one will be javelin. Damn it, that's an 18, not a 19.
Well, the 18 will
20.
hit.
Oh, well, okay.
It just hits. Congratulations, you found the AC.
Well, I also didn't add my attack bonus, but that's okay.
Oh.
But I hit, so that's all that matters. Ooh, 23 points of damage for the first,
Nice.
and 22 to hit, so
Yeah.
yes. And 15 points of damage on the second.
Okay. No, not times. Not times. That's you. Right.
And that's
Good little assassin boys. Are gonna suck. Wow. A 3 and a 4. They're just gonna go hide in their own shame now. Those are better. Okay, well, at least they're good at hiding their own shame. Dejira.
All right. Going to use a sorcerer's point to double the range on confusion. and try to get a group of those earth elementals that are throwing things.
You cannot currently see them.
Oh, I can't see them.
Nope. You can only see fire elementals currently.
Okay, then she'll do it on the fire elementals that she sees.
Okay. The wisdom save?
Tis indeed.
That one's not bad, but again, elementals don't tend to have a whole heck of a lot upstairs. So 16 being natural will still fail.
Yeah. And after that's off, 5, 10, 15, she's gonna hide behind the rock.
Okay.
And that's her turn.
Snow is gonna keep her distance and just keep shooting arrows. At least, oh, okay, never mind. I shouldn't have spoke. I spoke way too soon. Only one will hit. That's 7. Okay. Earth. Well, unsurprisingly, there's a big barrage of rocks that will catch basically PCs that need to be concerned are Hasvard, Martel, and with strength saves, please.
Yeah.
Shade Seeker.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
Why can't I roll?
Assuming that didn't go well.
No, I rolled a 5, and so it's 7.
Oh. Yeah.
22.
That's a success. Basically, if you roll below an 18, you fail. If it makes you feel any better, in solidarity, all the other shadowy people also suck this turn for their strength saves. The hammer crit this time, so they're doing great. Another one of those. So if you failed, 31 points of bludgeoning damage. If you succeeded, 15.
And if you're me, 7.
Yes. Just cut it in half again. Sure.
Yes.
Sorry, how much was the damage?
If you succeeded, 15.
Okay.
The storm elementals are going to. There's actually a huge target of magical energy now. They're going to strike the Shade Seeker and the girl, which unfortunately also means has one. So a dexterity save, if you'd be so kind. Okay, the Shade Seeker and girl are going to succeed. Wow, I rolled very bad. Mr. Hasvard?
I feel like I might need to run away.
Oh yeah? I'm assuming it's a failure somehow?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
because I rolled a 3,
oh
so 13. Because it's a dex. So
yeah, it's a dex save. Yeah, we have to like find an exorcist or something for your dice. All right. Well, it's 24 points of lightning damage.
Cool.
The good news is that's very low below average, but I guess it's still hurting. So
Just have Sarah re-roll the dice, because I think maybe that would help.
What? Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, she yelled at them last time and they did okay. Maybe I'll do that again.
yeah, clearly you just have to shame them.
It's a kink.
Dice are very kinky.
Not that there's anything wrong with it,
Yeah.
but sometimes they just need to be put into the mood, Let's see.
My dice have been
So-
absolute fire tonight.
A hammer. We're actually going to do something different. They are going to cast this. I just have to find the correct B. Where are you? Oh, search for it. Actually, isn't this spelling? Easy enough. I will change things. Wasa is going to raise up his hammer. It's going to glow brightly. He's going to flourish it and crash it into the ground as the hammer advances up to the river before them. And panels of stone are going to begin jutting out of the raw rock and earth from the side, creating a bridge across the river. Oh, hang on. Clearly must have clicked somewhere else to start that. So we are going to. Oh, hang on. We're fine. There. Here.
Ooh, bridge.
You'll create a bridge of stone. And then Lhasa and Hammer members will begin charging across. Being able to get about halfway. Okay. Fire elementals are going to focus attacks onto Martel and the Colossus, since, well, actually, they can actually kind of bombard everybody. There's so few of them, though. They're going to spread out their attacks and reduce their damage a bunch.
Please also remember the D4.
D4.
Thanks.
A -1. Well, so a -1 to a natural one just makes it a 0, so I'm just going to assume that's going to miss. And then the other one is a 16, which doesn't actually hit anybody that they target. So they just feel stupid this turn.
Ray.
Asvard.
I have to now. I'm falling back. Everyone sees like Hasvard cough up blood, and I start falling back.
Okay.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. I'm using my bonus action to sprint and then my action to hide.
Okay.
25.
Okay.
Actually, move over here, just so I'm far away from anyone else.
Head Maiden will move closer to Martel. She's not going to do anything. She is going to... Well, I guess she's within range. She's going to resonantly mock some fire elementals. That seems like an appropriate thing to do.
Me and the handmaiden.
Yeah, unsurprisingly.
Disrespecting the fire elementals.
They fail, unsurprisingly. And they're going to take a bunch of, a whopping 7 points of psychic damage. But boy howdy, have we debuffed their ability to attack people. Speaking of disrespecting people, Martel.
Martel is going to continue her dance, but she's going to kind of try and follow the hammer a little bit. Although she's not too into the bridge at the moment. She's not sure if they're going to drop it behind them, so she's just going to stay there.
Okay.
But she has to keep concentration on her same dance to keep it active, so that's what she's doing this turn.
Okay. Archers, they're just going to pelt the Fire elementals? Oh, good for them. They actually like both hit for once. They've been exchanging hits since this fight started. Oh, those are all side numbers. 11, 15. 823 plus 831. They continue to pick off fire elementals with relative ease, given their position and the lack of attention they've gained. Ooh, I actually forgot. I have to go back and roll some saves for some Storm Boys and some Earth Boys. They both suck, and they're going to both take that 39. Okay. I feel like I'm doing taxes. This was a terrible idea. Lithian!
Lithian dropped from the call.
Unfortunate. Well, relevant to Ben's question, since Lithian is currently disconnected and we don't know where she went, we're going to take a quick bio break because this is dragged on for quite some time. We're going to take 10 minutes and we're going to come back and hopefully Lithian will be here again and we'll pick up from there.
Taking my dice for Sarah to yell at them.
Okay, do it. They'll love it.
All right.
Thanks to you that have stuck it out so far. This is not working out in how I wanted. It's terrible and boring, and I'm so sorry for everyone I'm dragging this through, including my players. But you know, hopefully we'll at least get past this this week, and we'll move on to something else. Okay, we're going to be back at roughly 40 past the...
Hello. Sorry about that.
Hello, welcome back. We are just taking a bathroom break.
Okay.
A 10-minute bathroom break, so about coming back at around 40 past.
Cool. I'm already not at my my thing. My DoorDash drivers never call Derek like they're supposed to. They always call me. So at which point it like was approaching. It was just like right after my turn. I'm like, I have plenty of time to go down and come back. What?
Well, good news. Your turn is the first one we're doing when we come back.
Good to know. I did bring a D20 with me.
Perfect. Well, we'll find out what's going to happen. Sorry, I must have timed that wrong. I didn't mean 9:40. I meant 9:50. What am I am the worst.
That's a time is weird.
Time is weird. You know what? Here, I'll do 45. I'll be back.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Alright, we're back.
Man,
Got
I don't
some
know
nice. Oh, go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, I wasn't talking to you. Sorry, I will mute myself.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sorry. How are you doing?
Surviving.
Eh,
Get some food.
food is good.
Yeah. Grab myself a cookie.
I DoorDashed ice cream, and instead of calling Derek like they're supposed to, they never do. They always call me.
Oh.
So yeah, this is why I disappeared. They were calling me.
Ah.
What'd you get?
Ben and Jerry's, the Tonight Dough.
Oh, that's my favorite.
It's the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
I have
God.
never had it.
Very good.
It's caramel and chocolate ice cream with chocolate cookie swirls and gobs of chocolate chip cookie dough and peanut butter cookie dough.
I mean, that sounds amazing.
It is, I promise. It's
Here
really
I am
really-
eating a fully cooked cookie like a sucker.
It's really warm today. It only got up to like 73, but I live on the 4th floor with no air conditioning. So it's been really hot in here. I'm like, I need ice cream. So
I'm dreading the summer without a air conditioner.
Well, I mean, air conditioners are nice, and I certainly wouldn't turn one down. But it's not consistently terribly hot here. Like, we rarely hit 30, or slash like never go above.
That's nice. It's like BC, I was living in a basement, and that got so stuffy.
Yeah, when I was
86, that's fucking hot. Sorry.
was that directed at me?
Yeah.
It was just really, like you said, it rarely gets above or up to 30. And I'm
30.
like, what does that mean in American? And when I learned that is 86 degrees Fahrenheit, that is way too hot. Oh my God.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I hate it, but like it tends to hover around 25 for the summer.
Okay,
Yeah, like it
Hold
could
on,
get get much worse.
I gotta Google that.
That's fine.
Okay, 77, that's still too hot.
Yeah.
But it's more manageable at the very least.
That is more manageable. Still too hot.
Kayla and I are we were discovering that we have the advantage of because things have started getting a bit warmer. When I go take Daisy for a walk outside in the morning, it's it's bright and it's sunny most of the time. And when it is, it's pretty hot out. But we've realized we're reaping the benefits of the house is staying cool. It's because we're built right up against a rock wall. The areas they built the houses were basically cut out of part of a mountain, and they just built them. And there's this big, tall, 80-foot high slope of rock and stone, and then on top of it are 100-foot tall trees. And so while we don't get any sunlight to say grow grass in our backyard, the house stays really cool. So that's nice.
Jealous.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have to remember that I am still in Canada. It snowed yesterday. When I'm talking it gets that high in summer, I'm talking maybe a week.
Yeah, the worst, the sweltering week of summer.
I mean,
Yeah.
it only gets hot for a week or two here too. However,
But they still
I
suck.
live on a 4th floor with no air conditioning. Sun comes right into my apartment every day.
I imagine it's also worse because you're probably pretty humid.
Not really.
Really?
Yeah, I was surprised. It wasn't that humid in Seattle.
Well, coming from Florida and Ohio, where it's like swimming through the air, nothing's humid.
That's
Those
fair.
are
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah, I
Fair
guess
enough.
we wouldn't notice. Yeah, honestly, summers weren't that bad. I lived in a basement as well when I lived in Seattle, and I had only a tiny little like foot by 6 inch tall window for air, and I survived. But there were some days where it was pretty hot down in the basement. But nothing compared to like.
Well, see, I'm a little more concerned because I have to work here. And so sitting in this room with no air conditioning when it's hot just sounds a little miserable.
Yeah, I mean, you probably.
You may want to invest in an air conditioner.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kind of waiting until I actually see how hot it gets. So
Yeah.
Somebody who last summer drove 3 hours for a portable AC because it was the last one in Washington, and it was smoky as hell. I recommend not waiting.
I think I remember that story.
Yeah,
I do.
because that was like a couple weeks into me playing with you guys.
Yep. Oh, we're almost on like our 1 year anniversary.
I will
getting
say that the few times I have been to Victoria for the summer, few, I mean like every year for the last
It's been a
6
while.
years of my life, I've done that. But I have been to Victoria in the summer, and it is unbearable. It is so hot. I can tell you it's not like that, Tim.
Okay.
However, again, you're kind of in a different part of the country from me. The weather shouldn't be that terribly different.
We didn't get snow, we got rain.
Yeah. But Edmonton also is sometimes colder than it is here, and it's just a different part of the country.
Yeah.
But like, I generally get by in the summer with a regular fan. But like I said, you might want to invest in an air conditioner. I think it's smart to wait and see.
Yeah.
Well, you have the luxury to wait and see, unlike, like Kara very much pointed out, like in a state like Washington, where the total population of that state is probably still greater than the total population of Edmonton by a decent sum. So you can afford to wait because things aren't going to suddenly completely vanish off the shelves, because also Canadians don't tend to panic as much as Americans do when sudden climate changes have occurred. Just look at
Also,
Florida.
In fairness to Edmonton, you were comparing an entire state to one city. I imagine it has a higher population.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but even if I water that down to just Seattle to Edmonton, it's still
Yeah.
a sizable sum. But yes,
I would guess that like Seattle proper probably has more folks in it than Edmonton.
Yeah, that's the cities in the US, like the big cities, are
Really
always
does.
so confusing to me because they all just merged together.
they did.
Like they all just became one really big city, but they all still have their own governments and stuff.
It's crazy.
It's just a weird experience for me as a person who has one city within half an hour of him, and the next large city is 2 hours away.
That was my experience when I actually moved to BC, because I was always used to Saskatchewan and PEI, where like it's one city and then there's large amounts of space to the next city, and then moving into like the Lower Mainland, where it's like, well, where does one city stop? Is there actually cities?
No, they're districts, Tim. They're
All right,
districts.
so can
They
we,
are cities.
Can we rein this in, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Because we're a little well past our 10-minute break. So I would like to
Apologies.
continue, if only because I would like to get this finished tonight. I'm sure everyone agrees. I've made some
You
terrible
are
choices.
far too hard on yourself.
Yes. Yes, I am. And I know it. All right, we're back. Lithian, it's your turn.
Well, unless something has drastically changed in the time that I dropped off, I'm gonna do the same thing I've been doing.
All right, shooting some elementals. Fire or earth?
Earth.
All right,
With
the big
first
chunk.
one with the javelin was a 25 to hit.
That's gonna be hit.
That hits. Okay, good. Ooh. 22 points of damage on
Nice.
the first. And then another 22 to hit. And this is just a regular. Ooh, nice. 20 points of damage on the second. My D12s love me tonight.
That's a solid 42 points of damage in 2 attacks. Would you like to continue moving forward, Lithium?
Yes.
Do you want to continue moving up to the river's edge, or are you interested in this bridge that the hammer has created?
I like the idea of a bridge.
Okay, we're just gonna move. We can get you almost to the bridges.
Can we press the right button, please?
I make no promises.
I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, I figured.
It's nice that everyone knows how I'm storing my inventory and not the proper place now.
The stabby assassin boys are going to stab. Wow, they did not stab as well as they could have. We're gonna keep stabbing the storm boys.
That was a cutting remark.
Don't make me start rolling psychic damage on you, Tim. Speaking of, Tajira.
Okay, from her vantage point, I guess she doesn't see many people, so...
A couple of sputtering fire elementals.
15. Does that give her a better perspective? Oh, I can almost see the bridge. 20. 25. 30. She's still gonna stay in the back here. Are all these singles or do they
No,
represent groups?
it's still a group. There's about
Okay.
30 or 40 fire elementals remaining.
Okay. Well, she will try her erupting earth again on the nearest group.
Okay. Spec save. Fire boys. It's a dex save.
I thought it was a wisdom. No, let me. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm scrolling back up. Dex.
Erupting earth is dex.
Yeah,
They'll
18.
actually succeed for once. Natural 17 plus 4.
Half as much damage. 23, so 11 damage.
11. Right. Another large burst of rocks that from an explosion sends several fire elementals cascading back into the lava below. Not to reform.
Sweet. And she's done.
Okay. Hey, look, Snow. We shoot some arrows. We actually hit both arrows, and we crit one. Hooray! 17 plus 1, 18 plus 10, 28, actually. 30. Picking off another couple of rules. Earth Boy, make a con save. Ooh, actually gonna succeed. Going to take half damage. Half of 49. Oh, that's much better. Round down, 24. Math. What is math?
Baby, don't hurt me.
Something like that.
How dare you compare love to math?
When you put it like
Easy.
that,
Easy. 1 plus 1.
4.
Oh my gosh.
that
That takes time, I'm told.
I need strength saves from Martel, Lithian, and Tajira.
Do I really have to roll?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's an off chance you suck and miss. You
I
could
got
get
18.
Hasvard's luck. No, it's a success.
honestly, whatever's happening to Kyle is balancing out for me because I nat 20.
Like, I'm happy that some of the party is successful.
Yeah, but like, it's also not fun to constantly be the suck boy, you know?
Oh, trust me, I know. It's okay.
Okay.
We're gonna get new dice.
I rolled very high. Well, if you failed, you're gonna take 41. If you succeeded, you're gonna take 20.
Is this
Still
bludgeoning
hurts.
damage again?
It is. It's a bunch of
Alright,
rocks.
10. Good.
That's not the right window.
One of the Colossus are actually going to be knocked unconscious.
The big shadow boys.
One of them, yeah.
Hold on. Let me check my stuff. Sorry, I just need to. You can move on. I just need to double check what this thing does. / how often I can use it.
While you do that.
Action. Okay. Charisma mod, so Martel can use it. I know. Huge wall of text.
Yeah. And the spacing's super weird.
Yeah, I don't know why that happened.
It happens when
Anyways,
you copy from the PDF.
Oh, okay. What was I about to say? Oh, yes. The basics of it, because I know the ability. He is serene, he can't be damaged this turn, but nor can he be healed. He's not killed outright. And he goes into his own little, well, not his own, but Martel's own little world of heaven that she thinks up for him. Which I suppose in this situation, considering it's one of these guys, he's just in like a big dark world with like walls and walls of books with locks on them, so he can't read any. And that's what Martel thinks they must think heaven is.
That is, in fact, one of the downsides to this ability, is that if you don't know a whole lot about a particular group's religion, what their heaven looks like is very up to interpretation. You forgot the part where there's a woman dressed in all leather with a whip that whips them whenever they reach for a book.
Oh, she's coming.
Okay.
Martel still needs to be able to communicate with these people.
That's fair. That's fair. And in the future, I'm just saying this out loud to remind myself, I will make a status icon for Serene.
Okay.
Till then, I'll just mark them as blue.
I think it just lasts, until the end of my next turn. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Storm Boys also need to make a con save. Oh, they suck. So they're going to take 49 points, all 49 points of that damage. The big boom boom. Many of the glowing purple lights are beginning to fade. But not before another bright flash of white light, and I need the Seeker, his child, and Tajira to make a dex save. Seeker's okay.
Fail.
32 points of lightning damage if you fail.
I gotta say, you just find new and wonderful ways to make the description of this little girl under the thrall of the Seeker more and more uncomfortable.
Right?
You're really good at just being
Making
like, oh
it
yeah, by the way,
weird.
it's a little girl
Yep.
that's
It
being
makes me-
horribly tortured and brainwashed by this evil thing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I feel like
I know.
yeah. It's like, well, I feel because
Pump
I
the brakes.
yeah, like I like reminding it, if only because I mean Kayla's watching from Twitch, but because
Yeah.
at least you and her participated in the one shots, so you understand exactly where this girl is now coming from. Like not this particular girl, but what happened to her.
How it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, I have a reason.
Why it gets more and more uncomfortable.
I don't
Anyways.
know that, and I'm still uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's fair. The hammer's going to get to there. They're
Their
going to see
shadow
something
opposite, I
that a
feel like it's
lot of
appropriate.
people haven't seen. And they're going to carefully navigate their way around the dash over here. They're in the thick of it now. Fiery boys. They're going to make some attacks, but their feelings are hurt and they're mildly distracted. And wow, they're really distracted. Oh, it stopped a crit, so that's nice.
Yay.
Yeah, they're just gonna miss these poor fire elementals.
Good.
Yeah, they're just chucking fireballs, but it's just like they don't have any more life left in them. They're just tiny little flames. They're just like, eh. It doesn't even like it's like someone throwing a ball at someone unenthusiastically and just kind of hits the ground and rolls towards you the remaining feet and just ceases to move. Hey, look, it's Hansford. What is Hansford up to?
He's enjoying a nice little like sip of water. Maybe no, I'm just kidding. He's gonna move forward
S'mores?
about 15 because he can still see some fire elementals within his 120.
Yeah, great distance away.
So
All the way over.
disadvantage, so I can at least chip at them.
Yeah, every point counts. They're very low. Like,
Never mind, I rolled a 1.
Oh no.
I hide.
I'm so sorry.
at least it's not a gun.
Yep, I hide right there. Cool.
Okay. 25 stealth.
Yeah, it is.
Alrighty then. Let's see. We have the handmaiden. Who is just going to keep moving towards the bridge, kind of trying to catch up to Martel. It's just going to have a brief moment where she's going to get up to Martel, who is still distractingly dancing, and then just kind of offhandedly go, "Do you wish for me to keep pursuing them?"
Martel just kind of looks at the handmaiden and says, this would all be a lot easier if one of them would just fall down, but yes, we will keep pursuing.
I was observing from a great distance, and they were considerably more resilient than I'd anticipated. And with those words, she is just going to step onto the bridge. She will spend her action dashing. Martel.
Yeah, Martel's gonna follow along on the bridge, doing her best to dance distractingly.
Look at me.
Hello, over here. Doing her best interpretive dance of a sexy fire elemental lady.
I imagine it's a lot of like belly dancing.
Yeah. Belly dancing, ribbons, red ribbons. She's
Oh.
bringing out, pulling out the works.
Mm-hmm. And wow, the Shadow Archers just rolled 2 crits.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think I even need to roll dice with the base damages from that. 32. And the modifier? Yeah, technically, but I'll roll them for fun. Yeah. It's just over. It's just 52 points of damage. their last volley will snuff out the remaining fire elementals with just unerring accuracy. The Shadeseeker looks on as individuals begin crossing over in the bridge, and I believe Martell, you now, yes, you now can officially see, and I think Lithian can't quite yet, but Martell, as you begin making your way across the bridge, there is this enormous sphere of blackness that is engulfed part of this ancient fort. And you can tell around its edges, it has decimated the earth where it is. It's just it's created just this huge upheaval around its edges. And it's just pulsing and rippling. And you realize as you're crossing, you're beginning to feel a greater and stronger vibration reverberating through the stone underneath your feet.
Well, Martell doesn't particularly like that.
Yeah, this time the Shadeseeker is just going to continue to do nothing. They're concentrating on the smell. Lithian.
Well, I'm gonna move forward and then shoot some things.
Shoot some things. Well, there are no more fire elementals. Those boys are all finished, but there are plenty of earth elementals. And now that you've gotten much closer, you can also now see the storm elementals, which have been a particular thorn.
How are the earth elementals doing?
They're looking all right. They're pretty big and they're pretty big, hefty boys. They've been chipped away at, but the storm elementals are actually beginning to dwindle a bit. In the beginning, you saw like several dozen lights off on the other side, these little purple glowing specks, and now there's probably only like a third of them left. Whereas the earth elementals, they're still in force.
Then I will fight the earth elementals.
Okay.
God. Not going to use javelin. I'm just gonna straight. Oh, the first one is a 22 to hit. That's one is a 14.
Oh, that is
nice. The one that does hit is 11 damage. Woo!
Boom.
That's my turn.
All right. Well, thanks for participating. The Shadow Assassins are only one attack is going to hit. We're gonna go to our dice roller for our sixes. Whopping points of 30 damage to the storm elementals. And then they're going to hide again. Ooh, really good. Why couldn't you hit like that? Jeez. Tijira.
Well, she's feeling rather pained, so she's going to retreat. Well, actually, first she's going to see if there's any... I lost vision here.
Where is here?
I can't...
Entirely?
I can't see anything beyond there.
Yeah, so, that's intentional. The fire elementals were giving off light. There are no more fire elementals.
Oh, I thought that was from the lava lake. Okay.
It is.
Well, she can't see anything. Can't see these fire elementals. No, she's gonna get hit probably. 10. And not up there. 10, 20, 25, 30. And she's gonna sit right there.
Okay. Only enough, I think. Dash up distance. Here's the back for short range. And take a couple pot shots at some earth. That's a natural 1 and a 17. At least you're consistent now. And you know, it did less than Lithian, so you know that makes Lithian feel a little better, right?
Don't invoke my name.
I'm sorry. Con save from the Earth Elias. Ooh, they suck and fail this time. So roll new damage this round. 8d10. 31. Again, now that people are beginning to cross, Lithian and Martel, you guys can see this just pitch black dark sphere. And the closer you're getting to it, the heavier the air seems to feel. The elementals, when they are near them, you watch as pieces of them literally flake away. Like the earth elementals just begin disintegrating when this thing ripples and pulses. And it seems quite devastating to their physicality. One might even say they're vulnerable to it.
I mean,
Earth elementals now have a whole brand new group of targets that are directly in front of them. They're going to hurt the hammer a bunch. No, they're going to try it. Hammer's going to make a strength save. And again, by the virtue of being Goliaths and predominantly fighters, they are going to succeed. They've rolled very middling, but they just have a gigantic save number. And they will be fine, but will still take half damage. Those dice rollers are cool. Hit that button. Half that, 23. Storm elementals also need to make a con save at the top of their turn. Actually, I need a number for this one. I don't remember what they were. Okay, we're gonna fail. So they're also gonna take. Where's my 6, my 8, 31. More the little glowing purple lights blink out of existence. Another lightning bolt is going to go for the Shadeseeker.
Worth noting, it has been the end of my turn, so big guy isn't serene anymore.
Okay. The good news is he isn't within danger. The Shadeseeker, as if seeing the lightning bolt coming, he crit.
Ooh.
And just because, to sort of impress exactly how dangerous of an adversary this individual is, knowing that this was predictable and coming now, he basically just reaches a hand up and catches the lightning bolt and then deflects it. And you just watch as a huge explosion where the lightning bolt strikes off into the snow off to the side occurs. Still going to take a little bit of damage because you can't just touch lightning and not get hurt, but, you know.
An Uncle I rolled in here.
Well, I rolled so sad on the damage, too. Half of that is 9. It literally is just like shrugging it off. The hammer. Well, they see a bunch of large, heavy rock boys, and they all have very large, powerful weapons. They're gonna go to smash. They're gonna do some. This is right up their alley. Ugh, I rolled so badly, but we're just gonna narrowly hit at the very least. 3 out of 4. 11, 9, 20, 6, 26, 4, 30, plus 10, 40. And again, as you guys are crossing the bridge now that the hammer is engaged, you're just now watching as chunks of rocks and earth are just kind of like being cascaded over some of these walls where you know the hammer has just entered into the combat with them. They are going to do some good damage. Fireboards are just out of the initiative. So let's cut them out. Mr. Hasvad, you just catching your breath?
Nope. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25,
Hasvard's re-entered the
30.
bat.
No, I haven't.
Has not
has
re-entered
this guy stayed the same size?
Yep, still a big old Colossus boy.
I'm going to put a rope around him so that next turn I can try and drag him back into this zone into cover.
He is not the unconscious one. He is the very conscious one.
Oh, is the unconscious one down this way?
Uh-huh.
I ran to the wrong side. Dang it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna be like, All right, so you're gonna tie a rope around this guy. Then I was gonna ask, like, are you gonna ask him nicely to do
In
that?
clear view of the
Yeah.
Shade Seeker, you're gonna try and choke this guy out?
No, I was trying to be helpful.
Yeah, we all weren't sure what you were going for here.
Yeah. I was a little concerned. I was like, all right.
Okay, I'm just gonna go back into my corner. I'm gonna sip a little bit of potion, I guess.
Okay.
Use a level 2.
Okay.
So that's 2d6. What?
No, it's just very funny.
I
Just
know.
like
I'm
the imagery of it's just very funny to me. Like I just imagine
so
Hasbro going out with that rope, going, "All right, I'm going to do a good thing. This is nice," and going and just staring up at the 40-foot tall shadow Colossus, going, "Oh, you're the wrong guy."
Shit. But anyways, because it's 2 times your Constitution mod, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So it'd be
needed to
it's
make sure.
2d6 times 2.
Which I rolled 2 5s, so 10
Oh, nice.
times 4 times 4 is 8, so 18 points of health.
Nice.
Yay!
Not a small sum.
No, it is not. Cool. And then he's going to
Go this way.
15, 20, 25, 30. My bonus action was to do the potion. If I sprint, I break stealth, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay stealth right where I am.
Maiden? Just gonna politely just keep strolling across this river. Martel?
Yeah, Martel's going to follow suit, no longer having fire elementals to distract. She's gonna stop doing that dance.
Yeah, though.
30. Get to about there. I mean, she's been seeing the handmaiden taking a bit of a beating. Can I do like a defense action to try and deflect attacks away from the handmaiden towards me?
Yeah.
Then I will do a defense action to do that.
All right. If anything comes at her, we will address it.
Cool.
Okay. Archers are going to keep doing their thing. They're just going to keep, they're going to now target some storm elementals off in the distance. Only one of them is going to hit. 12, 22 damage. Another little light is snuffed out. Another volley of shadow arrows are lobbed into the air. The Seeker is just casually observing. It's Lithian's turn.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to continue moving forward
Mm-hmm.
if I can still.
Yes. You are on a stone bridge. You can now get to the
That's
other side of the stone, almost to the other side of the stone bridge.
Hang out with me and the handmaiden for a bit.
Yeah, you're almost in the melee combat.
Ooh, that's exciting.
I know, right? I think it's
Oh, then I can start getting rid of these pesky arrow things. Gonna shoot 2 more. A 25 and a 20 to hit.
yeah, those are both gonna hit, Chief.
Cool. Ooh. I love these D12s. I'm never using any others.
Mm-hmm.
23. 39 points of damage.
Ooh. That's pretty good.
I don't think that I've rolled below an 8 on my D12s tonight.
That's a great average.
Yeah.
All right. The Earth Elementals are beginning to thin. They're weakening. These arrows are just puncturing, like, they're these thick, huge, dense elementals. And these arrows are just puncturing straight through their core, and something about the destructive nature of penetrating them like that is just causing them to fall apart to pieces. Shade Assassins. Ooh. We got a crit in there, and both of them hit. So let's just roll a lot of dice. Nice. And then we add the flat damage from the crit, which is also another crap ton. Okay. How do the kids put it these days? The Shadow Assassins pop off, if you will. They emerge from a shadowy alcove of part of the destroyed fortress, and amidst the dim glow of the storm elementals and the weapons from the Hammer of Amaron, the remaining storm elementals that have gathered in that general area, they run through the battlefield with their blades, their hand blades of shadow, and cut through all of them in a very impressive and just deadly display of skill, destroying any remaining storm elementals that were left, leaving only the Earth Boys. Tajira. Tajira? Gojira?
That's
Wow.
not right.
Okay, I was muted. Tizira will message Lithian and say, "Let me know when it is safe."
Is this one I can reply to?
Yes, it's message.
You are out of range.
Oh, am I out of range?
120 feet?
If you can see the sort of where it gets a little bluer, if you get within that range, you'll be in range for Lithian. But if you can't, then sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident it's 120 feet.
I'm sorry, I'm just reaching through my.
Yes, it is 120 feet.
She'll use a sorcery point to double the range.
Sure. You can message anyone on the battlefield now. Even the elementals, if you really wanted.
I'd have to see them, right? Though.
True. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So she'll message that and then return.
Okay. Would you like to
Message-
respond?
It's different than sending. I can't wait to respond, right?
No. It's actually, I don't think you can wait on either of them. Can you? Target only
You-
I just
target-
posted it.
There's
And we're
never
replying
actually
or
a
whispering.
stipulation on when you can respond, but I imagine both are supposed to be pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, see, messages, it doesn't actually say, but I would like it to be an instantaneous one. It doesn't maintain a link.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people could just constantly communicate psychically with anyone they've ever cast message with, ever, if they've just never responded.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with the stipulation that the spell lasts one action, I would imagine it has to come back within 6 seconds.
Agreed.
Fair. Okay.
Same for sending. In this particular, I'm setting the precedent now. You have to respond to both sending and message spells shortly after receiving the message.
You'll just get an okay kind of response.
I'm fighting here.
Okay.
While we were going through that, I rolled Snow's attacks. Painfully consistent with average damage. Earth elementals must make a con save. They might succeed. They don't. They fail by 1.
Okay, con.
Yeah, I'd say it is a decent con score, but not a good enough con score. Cap that down to 10. We make that a 8. roll 34 points of damage. Which again, to those of you now within observable distance, when this sphere pulses and these earth elementals that are nearby or inside its radius, they crumble under this thing's damage. They do not stand up well to it at all. Okay. The elementals are dropping quick. Hammer of Amaron's just gonna keep swinging away. And all but one attack is going to hit. I'm just gonna dice roller. This'll speed it up. That's 10, 41.
Oh, that's pretty good damage.
Yep. And again, it's almost kind of comical. Again, they're just running, and you see them kind of pass in and out of sight between some of the remains of this fortress. And then when they vanish out of sight, all you're seeing is just these pieces of earth elementals being flung into the sky as they're just barreling through them. The earth elementals numbers are dropping rapidly since there is no other focuses on the field. Hasverd.
Just gonna keep moving slowly. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 50. And I guess I'm gonna defend this guy to try and make sure he doesn't get hit again. And next turn I'll drag him back. So although I might not like you, you are currently my ally.
Yeah. For the record, again, these guys are like 30 feet tall. They're very big.
I'm gonna need help is what you're saying.
And you're a goblin. Yeah, I'm just...
I can get help. There's a kitty nearby.
You're the wrong character for dragging those sides of people around.
Yeah.
I know.
You need the other kitty?
Yeah, you're over here.
No, the other kitty.
Oh, yes.
There we go. We got there.
But I can defend him, question
The
mark?
sometimes kitty, yes.
Yes, okay.
Granted, the elementals are kind of in a predicament.
Valid.
And they know it. Well, they don't really know it. They don't acknowledge those details, but they are. I don't think the handmaid's going to do a whole heck of a lot this turn. I think she's just going to kind of watch. She likewise, observing Martel's actions, is going to just choose to defend Martel and get off the bridge in case something.
We're quite a pair.
It's going to go up there and just kind of cross her arms and begin watching vigilantly. Speaking of Martel.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to cut across the dangerous part of the 5, 10.
You mean you don't want to jump? What could go wrong?
It's 20. 20. That's 25. Get to about there. And yeah, defending the handmaiden.
All right.
And yeah, watching closely for if any of the hammer fall.
All right, the archers are doing their thing.
Rooting they will.
I've noticed. I think that has only spurred them on to be more powerful.
Very frustrating when you want somebody to go down.
Damn it, will you just fall already, Bobby? I don't know why that became a king of the hill thing. That was weird.
I don't know why either. I gotta learn to not laugh that way. Too much belly in my laughing.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I'll stop making weird random jokes so that you don't bleed out while we play D&D.
It doesn't matter.
It matters a little. All right, there are some more shadowy arrows fired, just kind of prickling away at the earth elementals. They are dwindling rapidly. Shadeseeker and co are just kind of chilling, standing there watching. Lithian, you are at the edge of the bridge. There are.
Can I get to melee range and be able to attack?
The short answer, yes.
Okay.
You are technically within range if you'd like to do some slapping.
I would like to do some slapping. What do
I
I
will-
want to slap?
I mean, you have a lot of options, and there's a bunch of chunky earth elementals around.
We're gonna go back to our good old battle axe.
Nice.
Trusty friend.
It's missed you.
I've missed it too. Number 1. Oh shit, that misses. And number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that one hits. That's a 26.
Okay, that's better. Yeah, just a little rusty. That's all it was. Just a little rusty.
Yeah.
Just shaking it up.
13 points of damage.
Nice. Lithian, you are surprised when your axe seems unusually effective at destroying these elementals as you charge into the battle. Almost as if they're vulnerable to it.
Yeah,
Fighting.
makes sense.
Also, it makes sense considering what your weapon is.
Yep.
Let me have this. Assassin boy hit and miss. With your dice roller. Click D6. We hit the roll button.
Pew!
Take 25 points of damage.
Pretty
Now
bad
stabbing
damage.
earth elementals. That number. Tajira behind the rock.
She is still hiding.
Okay. Would you like to actually hide?
Yes.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Okay, that's a 22.
All right, that's actually really good. Snow, casual longbow shots. One hit, one miss. Perfectly in sync. Oh, we actually rolled a 10 for damage this time, though. An arrow sails over the wall right as an earth elemental's bringing a big arm down the clobber one of the hammer, and the arrow just takes the arm off, and it just sort of sits there dumbstruck for a second, realizing it doesn't have a limb anymore. Con save for the earth ellies. Oh, that's a second fail. That's a 5. They really didn't want to win this battle. They didn't have it in them.
Come on, Earth Elementals.
Whoa.
Letting me down.
Wait, how did one of these roll a 14? Anybody?
Rolling 8d10 plus 14.
Yeah, I'm not crazy, right? Or did it roll odd?
You put exclamation.
I'm using the dice roller.
I don't know what to tell you on that one,
I'm just gonna roll another d10 and change that one out.
If you hover over it, it should tell you.
It doesn't. Because these are just d10s. Like that's how this is written. These are just
even a picture of a d10 behind the 14.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why. Like for other things, like when you guys roll things attached to sheets you've made, there are formulas, right? This isn't a formula. This is just going. This was a 1 through 10. This is what I rolled. So somehow it chose to roll 14. The good news is I just subtract 4 because that's 54. In a none too climactic way, this dark star of gravitational energy ripples out once more, and all of these standing earth elementals that remained are turned to dust under its weight and pressure. And there are no more elementals left to be seen. You are officially out of initiative.
Martel just looks at the handmaid and says, well, that was disappointing. Well done, everyone. We did it. She says much louder.
Mm-hmm. It echoes across the whole field.
Tijira will come out and start walking over.
The Shadeseeker is going to kind of wave a hand towards the Colossus that has fallen unconscious, and he's going to rapidly shrink back to his normal size, and then slowly come to and begin kind of slowly walking to fall in line.
Okay, good. I was going to ask if you, yeah, anyways. All right. As Hadvard goes to cross the bridge after seeing him raises the duder. Yep.
The handmaiden is kind of just cursorily getting closer to this big dark void, kind of just raising a hand up to it, but not daring to touch it. Kind of intrigued by it.
What is this?
I don't know. Some kind of powerful magic. It destroyed many of the elementals over here. I suspect, and she turns and looks across the bridge where the Shadeseeker and the girl are beginning to cross. It belongs to them. And then once within a certain distance, noticing everyone's kind of lowered their guard, the Shadeseeker will remove his hand from the child, and the child will lower their hand, and the sphere will vanish. And in its place is an enormous, perfectly spherical, glass-smooth crater.
Yeah. Martel just calls to the Shadeseeker and says, "That seems like a very handy trick."
Yes, just one of many that this wonderful young girl can do.
The Hammer have all respectively begun parsing through the ruins, looking for any surviving elementals. Kind of just overturning large hunks of rock and rubble and making sure nothing's left wiggling around.
Can I also look for things of value?
Yeah, oh, that's not what they're doing, but you can do that, yes. If you'd like to spend a little bit of time and do an investigation check, you can try to find something.
Unless everyone else has other things to do or we need to leave quickly. Yeah, I'd like to. Hey, my second good roll of the night.
Yeah.
17 plus 13 is 30.
That's a real good number. Because I feel like I haven't done one of these in a while. Hasvard, roll me a D100.
A D100?
Contrary to most of how I run loot, I do actually like having people roll on tables. There's something very fun about it.
If you don't roll well, you're going in the garbage. It's going in the garbage.
Are you sure that's the right kind of abuse?
I don't know, because I rolled a 19.
Well,
I mean, you shouldn't be super upset. You're still rolling on a loot table, so it's like...
Like, yeah, I know. I'm just salty in general.
Okay, well, yeah, let's see what you find. And I know what you find. Let me go find the description for you. Hasvard, as everyone's kind of gathering themselves after what was a pretty cataclysmic battle, people are kind of just taking spots to rest. The Hammer are sort of parsing through the ruins, looking for any surviving enemies. But you take the opportunity to sort of walk the grounds of this ancient skeleton that once was this great fortress. You can see there are remnants of what used to be a civilization that had used this to defend this river. But there's so much of it that is completely decimated because of how ancient it is. Like, you get the idea where there used to be door frames, where there were hallways that enter into grand halls. You can kind of recreate parts of it in your memory, but it's just all snow and rock and rubble now. However, out of the corner of your eye, and you think something from the devastation that was wrought here unearthed it someplace very deep, you see a glint out of the corner of your eye. And when you find it, you discover, against all odds, a ring.
Oh, beans. I pick it up.
It's a thick, silvery metal band. It's about an inch wide, very thick. On the immediate outside of the band, so closer to the outsides of the edge, there are numerous small purple gems inlaid with a brighter silver metal. And then in between each of those purple gems, there appear to be these dark blue sapphires with an enormous, partially glowing purple gem inset in the middle. And it seems to kind of glint and sparkle on its own with no source of light around you.
Very interesting. I slip it into my pocket.
Okay.
I'll show the group later. Away from prying eyes.
All right. Anybody else want to do any looky-looing while you're here?
Yeah, I mean, Martel is going to at least pretend to keep up the pretense of being out here to look for fame and fortune.
That's fair.
So she'll do some exploring in the castle for any kind of loot that might be left.
Sure. Investigation check.
I'm not actually bad at those. And, well, I do still have
an inspiration dice.
An inspiration dice.
You do. It's a D12.
Let's just. Oh, that's a good roll. 28 total.
That is a good number. That is a good roll. Roll
Yeah,
D100.
I got a 10 on the D12. D100. No, this is kind of a university 100, not a Martel one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very particular about the Martel dice.
Mm-hmm.
I will never let them betray me.
As you
85.
should. Ooh.
I can live with that.
Hmm. Okay, hang on. Oop, I skipped past it. Martel. Well, it's very clear that the hammer and your compatriot Hasvard have taken a bit to kind of walking the grounds and sort of keeping an eye on any closer details. You know, the acolytes and the Shade Seeker have kind of stepped out of the perimeter a little further beyond where you guys are going to be heading, kind of just scouting, keeping an eye on things. You walk a little further around the farther sides of kind of like the perimeter of the fortress, closer to where the large mountains begin to sort of stack up towards the west. And you realize there's kind of, despite how old this is, there's a bit of a worn path between the edge of the castle, the fort that once was, leading up to the mountains. And you realize there's actually something a bit worn in there, and you kind of follow it. And as you do, you find a weird gathering of rocks that look like they were stacked purposely in one particular manner. But then wedged between one of these rocks and the side of this jutting piece of obsidian mountain, you see there's actually something buried there. A little fleck of gold catches your eye.
Exciting. Does it seem like it would be difficult to dig out? Am I going to have to go and call Lithian or someone else strong over?
Well, so I mean, you could definitely do a little bit of dusting. And once you kind of clear away some of the flaky bits of obsidian and dirt and snow that have gathered, you actually see, to the best of your knowledge, you kind of see the top parts of a stringed instrument. And it does seem relatively well lodged between the stone that was placed there and the larger part of the mountain. It does look like it'll take a little bit of oomph to get it out.
Okay. Yeah, Martel will note the location and head out to find a companion to help her. Most likely Lithian. But if Lithian is pouting, sorry, it's not the right word, but Lithian's been in a bad mood since losing her hair.
But she did just fight and
she did
murder
just fight,
things, so maybe
true.
she's feeling. So what is Lithian doing? How's the after battle doing for her?
It's a really good question. I feel like she would just be making sure, like, that I know Hasvard and Tajira got pretty beat up, making sure that they're okay, and kind of keeping an eye on the shadow weirdos.
Mm.
But
They have marched a good distance away.
The shadow weirdos.
That's their new name.
Definitely would go and help pull things out, though.
Okay. Yeah, Martel will just come up and just be like, I think I found some kind of golden instrument. It's wedged under a rock, though, and she just kind of rolls up her sleeve and gestures to her arm, which is quite thin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can help. I think that, and she'll like hold up her arms and do the like flex thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can help you.
It's far more
a bit
impressive.
of a tear in the coat starts to form. Yeah, Martel goes, oh, wonderful. I thought so. And she'll skip off with Lithian. I'm sure Lithian's not skipping, but Martel is skipping to where this instrument is.
Okay.
Lithian is.
Martel and Lithian go. Martel skipping. And Martel leads you to a section that is a bit of a ways away from where the remains of the fort obviously are. And you're kind of just staring up at this, this huge sheet of jagged obsidian in front of you. But the thing Martel points out to you is that there's obviously a bit of an arrangement of stones here that kind of come up to a point. Like they've been leaned inwards to kind of make this like this stalagmite of obsidian, but it's very clearly done on purpose. But behind it, you can see what looks like the neck of a stringed instrument that is buried underneath it, and it looks very thoroughly wedged. You're uncertain how long it's been there, but it's clearly had enough time to sort of compact and settle in that it looks like it's going to take a decent deal of strength to actually pull it out, and you understand why Martel came to get you.
I would lift. I got them gains. I will use my gains.
All right. Give me that athletics check.
Ooh.
You flex on this this potentially magical instrument. Spoilers.
Does a 27 work?
Only kind of. You manage to wrap your hand around what is exposed, and then with the other one, and I like to imagine Lithian uses a little bit of her, lichen influence to kind of tiger out the other hand to get some claws that would be better at slightly digging, and you just jam it into the part of the obsidian where you suspect the rest of the instrument would be. And you shrug off the splintering obsidian that is just shredding your hand as your natural regeneration just deals with that. And you find something underneath, and with a decent enough grip around what you suspect is a bit of a rounded base, you give it one solid rip in kind of in just a scattering of sparkling obsidian flakes. You pull free a cittern. It has a beautifully worked silver and gold gilded rose at the top. This long neck with this bright white wood And then at the bottom, it is decorated in these growing silver vines and flowers that are beautifully etched into the wood. It is a remarkable instrument.
Yeah, Martel's just holding it and says, "Wow, this is beautiful." He looks at Lithian. "Do you play?"
No, do you?
Martel just kind of shrugs and said, "I learned a bit of the harp while I was going under my education, but I don't know how much translates."
Well, I'm sure we could find somebody who can fix it up for us at least. And maybe teach us how it works. Music's never been my strong suit.
For what it's
Elton
worth,
smiles.
it seems to be in remarkable condition.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
It's just kind of, yeah, Martel's just kind of like wiping it down a bit with a sleeve, and she's like, "Well, the handmaiden seems to be musically inclined. She might know more."
when you say remarkable condition, even the strings?
Yeah,
All right.
it seems based off of where you just dug it from and the fact it sustained no damage whatsoever, you're pretty confident that you can guess this is magic.
Maybe we should find out exactly what it is before anybody plays it.
And smiles at Lithian and says, "I think the handmaiden can do that too. Although I don't know, lately it seems like Hasvard's constantly playing some kind of instrument."
Funny joke.
People might be interested.
I think I'm missing the joke here.
It's just based on his new picture. He's got a big old
Oh. Okay.
He's a banjo
mandolin
goblin
or something.
Yeah.
Banjo goblin now, yeah.
I see. Well, I don't know. He's an innkeeper. They entertain people. He might know something.
Oh, either way, I think it's a good find.
Agreed.
Thank you for your help.
Anytime. We definitely need to talk later.
Just kind of gives a quizzical look at you. "Oh, well, whenever you'd like to talk, we can talk."
Of course.
And,
No rush.
He
You have the whole day.
That's
What
kind
do
of,
you mean?
yeah, walking back. Yeah, the look she gives is very much a whatever for look.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Lithian's definitely trying to play it off too. She
Yeah.
knows what she said and what she's asking for and why you're being dismissive of it.
All right, yeah, good. Good to have smart people around.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that nice sometimes?
She may not have the
Right.
highest intelligence score, but she's not stupid.
Again, yeah, like I have to say that a lot. If you've got anything higher than a 10, your character's not dumb.
They're above
And-
average.
Actually, if anything, Lithian, for an average person, is significantly smarter. Most of you are actually incredibly intelligent. You guys are
See,
a very
that's
weird outlying group that I think the lowest score in the whole group is like 15.
Okay.
I have a 12, thank you.
Oh, oops. I thought yours was higher than that. Never mind.
You have above average intellect. D&D does go out of its way to make 10 kind of the baseline of people.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. And granted,
I know, but
Lithian, I mean, unless you input incorrectly on your character sheet, it says you have a 15. So, yeah.
why
Anyway,
did Shush, shush. I not no me the player is stupid. Okay, got it.
No.
Yeah, that's all right. Anyway, yeah. No, the reason I say this, and Kyle's going to immediately be like, I'm sorry, but it wasn't Kyle the most. Lots of people did it throughout Barovia. But anytime Martel was like, I don't know what you're talking about in Barovia, someone would be like, I'm talking about this. And she'd just kind of rub her temples.
Yeah,
I will state that some of my characters are much too honest at times, and that happens.
See, I knew you were going to immediately jump on it, but you were not the worst one.
As the daughter of a drug queen, she knows how to be,
Yeah.
Yeah, but come on. Yeah. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before we get too deep into the jokery, we are a little bit over time. You know, we had a bit of an extended break, but we still ran past because I really wanted to get that done. But you guys have come out on the other end of sieging a fort filled with crazed primordials, victorious, and all relatively okay-ish. Like, some of you got beat up, but honestly, for the numbers, it could have gone a lot worse. You all as a group have learned a significant amount of both of the groups you are traveling with and some of their abilities. Most notably that the Hammer of Amaron is incredibly resilient. Even when they were surrounded on all sides and outnumbered by dozens of enemies, they seemed to take it all, perfectly fine. Meanwhile, the Shadeseeker and his acolytes seem to be incredibly lethal. Inflexible in that they can kind of have their roles change to whatever the Seeker thinks is appropriate, giving them flexibility and the chance to adapt to whatever they may face. All of this useful information for you guys to sort of take note of for the future in case it ever does come to blows. And with 2 shiny new magic items doled out to the party, which you guys will have a chance to either meditate with later or have identified, I will let you know what they are whenever that comes around to it. Until then, I just want to ask the easy question, which is, do you guys want to take a short rest after this, between now and the next session?
Digita will.
Yeah, it's like that. I don't think that would go amiss.
I don't need it, but I'm more than happy to take it.
Like,
Yeah.
I physically need it.
Too. Yeah, all right.
Okay.
I'm still, even with that 2nd level health potion, one of those hits that I was taking from death.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I just switched over to the stream. Yeah, you're low.
Yeah, bro. I was down to 12 at one point.
Ooh.
Yeah, the hammer also wouldn't hate a short rest. So between now and next session, account for short rest if you want to roll hit dice and that fun stuff. Any abilities you get from short rest. Along with, if anyone wants to, spend the short rest to get to know a magical item, not necessarily attuned to it, but to understand what it does. If you don't want to have someone identify it. And then
that's an option.
all right. In which case, Kyle, I will send you what the ring does.
Thanks.
Yeah, Martel's gonna bring the instrument to the handmaiden, because again, she's sort of sussed out that she's a bard.
Mm-hmm. Was it the inspiration dice that gave it away?
Plus the humming.
Or the constant humming.
She figures that if anybody's going to know about magical instruments, it's probably going to be the handmaiden.
She does know a thing.
Yeah.
But she can also cast Identify.
And also time for some chats.
Yeah. Which we'll all happily pick up back on next week. So, short rest stuff. Don't forget it, guys. But that's the end of this week. We've finished the siege of, I don't have a fancy name for it. It would have been a good thing for me to work on this week, along with actually a system for it. But you did it. And you guys are closing in on the end of your map. You guys have 3 more stops before hitting the city.
Yay.
Which is both scary and exciting.
Yeah.
Given one of them is supposed to include a betrayal, another one is supposed to include a betrayal, and then the third one's supposed to be a dragon and more betrayal. And it's hard to say which one's worse. And if anyone believes Tajira, a group of elite mercenaries that have killed the dragon are waiting for them.
Yeah. Thankfully, Martel didn't hear that horrible lie and has a better one to tell up people. Thanks for hanging out, chat. Love you guys.
Yeah. That's it. Any notable changes? Yeah, I guess actually one change worth noting. Other than, social media stuff, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, subscribe, follow, like, all those other things. They're all pretty bare bones right now, but I'm still finishing up the content and starting to work on things to sort of share that is independent of just watching the stream. Other than that, my Moonrise game is officially moving away from Tuesdays to early Saturday morning, starting at, I guess it's not that, 10 a.m. On Saturdays. Every other week, we have 2 players that are, for the summer, for 6 months actually, that have joined the Forest Conservation Corps in California. And they're going to be working in a lot of the national parks there, taking care of the forests for about 6 months. And they're going to be playing every other week. So that's why the schedule's changed a little to accommodate them, because we didn't want to lose them. So, we're taking it a little slower for their sake. So that means my Tuesdays are free up. Maybe something will happen. Who knows? But until then, thanks for sticking around and watching. As Ben has already said, we love you guys. Thanks for always being there and supporting us and me in this endeavor that I'm trying to start up. Thank you guys, my beloved, dear, cherished players. I love you all so much. And thank you for tolerating things when I try to do experimental stuff and it doesn't always pan out how I want it to. Otherwise, we'll see you next week.
I'm going to cut you off really quickly. It's not something that you were trying that was wrong. It was my dice. You did great. And it was a fantastic idea.
No. Yes, it was a good idea. The execution was like 60-40.
Talk about this after.
We will talk about this after and how I'm wrong. No, I know. I'm way too self-critical. I get it. Anyway, next week, I'll see you on Wednesday for Orphaned Honor, bright and early at 7 a.m. Pacific, because I hate myself. No, I love myself and my players on Wednesday as well. Keep fingers crossed that Sam will reemerge from her current predicaments that have kept her away from the table. Otherwise, thanks guys. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.